E12. If it's not, it is now.
All right, where's Will Fly? He's always on here on Tuesday. Where's that Tuesday?
And I gotta type in something.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Tuesday.
All right. I am the only one watching. Oh, man. So, anyways.
Yeah, no, now two are watching. I'm there.
Little. You see the little. Like Grandpa.
Really? That is awesome. Yeah, there's a dog.
All right. So, hello, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday Night Hangouts. We are hanging out. We are talking about whatever we want to talk about. I do want to talk about bad apples, about I actually read on their site today about down in the kitchen, fried up some leftover spaghetti. How do you fry up leftover spaghetti? That's JR Paramotor. Are you reheating spaghetti and calling it fried? Because if you say fried to me, it's oil, grease, and some fire. Nick Griffith, how you doing? All right, so with bad apples, I was reading their webpage on Facebook, and they have bathrooms and everything, but we have not figured out about moonshiners, correct? If they got a shower house. I'm sure they have bathrooms, but I don't know if they got a shower house. My wife is very concerned with that information. Tommy Sutherland, how you doing, sir? I don't. Are you looking for it, Sean? Or are you just
I'm still working on getting the GoPro working.
Yeah, so I know Bad Apples has
yeah, they got
they had the power outlets, and I think they said they had the shower out, but the moonshiners, I'm not sure. I know moonshiners, I don't think had any electric, and that's why they said they would like to have the people that need to run generators be at one end.
Now, Eric, do you guys have a generator?
We do, because I need a generator for my refrigerator in the camper.
Okay. Now, what is it? An inverter generator, or is it a screaming loud, ridiculous generator?
I have a inverter generator that is fairly quiet, right, and I have a generator that is built into the fifth wheel that says inverter, but it's a little louder than the other one.
Oh no, I got the Predator 3500. That thing, I've left it sit outside of my tent and slept just fine with it running. Yeah. That's not a. I just at Swanee we had several people show up with those loud generators that weren't inverters, and I don't know how they got away with it. I mean, they're just ridiculous. Now at Bad Apples, I will be in my big trailer, so it really doesn't matter too much to me between the air conditioner running and being inside. I don't really hear that as much, anyways. But when we go to moonshiners, I will be in my paratrailer. So I don't know how. I haven't sat in there and listened to a generator yet, because I actually haven't spent the night in there. But we shall see.
Right.
Nick Griffith said, what about a solar generator or a battery bank generator? Well, then you won't hear it at all if you have either one of those. I'm wanting to add 3 more batteries to my paratrailer so I can run solar. I can run all my lights, my little refrigerator, and have all the plugs in my all the USB plugs plugged in, charging whatever, and the solar will keep up with all of that, and then it still is able to charge the battery. But if I do anything bigger than that, I'm going to have to get a bigger inverter. I only have a 1500 watt inverter, which will not run my 12,000 BTU air conditioner. It'll run the fan, but as soon as that compressor kicks on, not today.
Right.
Ooh. So I don't know what I'm going to need. I don't know
what
how
size-
long. What's that?
No, go ahead.
I don't know how long. I wouldn't imagine that one deep cycle battery I have able to run more than 20-30 minutes at air conditioner if I did have an inverter big enough to handle the compressor coming on.
What size panel do you got up there?
It's a 65 watt, but I can link them together. I got it on Amazon. The reviews on it were phenomenal. It was so simple to put together. You literally put the only thing I had to do was add wire to the control panel to the solar panel because it wasn't long enough to put the controller inside the pair trailer. So we're talking 10 minutes of soldering and heat shrink and we're done. It was simple, but I can put those in series and get like 4 of them and have more than enough power to do what I need to do. Because I prefer not to run the generator if I don't have to, but if I have to, I will. My 35 watt, 3500 watt the inverter generator, I can get, if it stays on eco mode, I can run that. I think it's 3-gallon tank for almost 13 hours.
There you go. Nick Griffith said that Moonshiners has showers and bathrooms on site.
Okay, great. My wife was severely concerned about that. She did not want to do the outdoor shower thing that we use for Ohio or Vail, North Carolina, which we were there 10 days at Vail, North Carolina. We showered in that thing every single night. And I mean, there were people coming over. They did videos, like Brian Waller did a video of it talking about our redneck shower thing. And it worked out fantastic. I still, to this day, don't have any issues with that shower. You just use a 150 quart cooler, drop in our heating element. It heats the water up. We got a fountain pump that pushes water into a water hose up to a shower head, and we have a shower. It's pretty doggone simple.
There you go.
Kent Stamey's in the house. Nick Griffith said his 13K BTU air AC will run on 1,000 watt. We're talking about something I don't know nothing about when it comes to that stuff. I get real confused real quick.
Yeah, I had a 2,000 watt. No, I take that back. 1,500 watt, and I had a 15,000 BTU AC unit, and it just wouldn't push that. I noted a lot of these bigger units, like the 13 and 15,000. If you have what's called a soft start on them, they will run pretty well.
Yeah, I was told by a guy about my camper putting an easy start or a soft start on the air compressor or on the air conditioner, that it'll help with a generator or whatever. But I've never had any issues with it. I plug that thing in and it just takes off.
Yeah.
And again, I keep my camper at about 60. Well, actually, it's been running 60 or 61, but normally keep it about 68 in there.
Even on those hot Florida days?
Yeah, I can do 68, no problem. And then we have a high velocity fan pushing air into our bedroom, and then there's 2 fans blowing our faces. It's a wind tunnel in there.
Fans. I'm all about the fans.
Yeah. In my bedroom, we have ceiling fan. We have 1 ceiling fan, 2 on the side of our bed, 1 at the foot of our bed, and then we have a window unit that keeps our bedroom about 66 degrees at night.
Holy moly.
Hey, if you get cold, you could just snuggle up. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right.
Right. Nick said he did a lot of research on the AC units, and he said the soft start will help. It would be interesting to see. I would like to know how that works. I really would.
Send some pictures of the vid of the shower. Nick, if you go to I believe Brian Waller in Vale, North Carolina, he did a one of his videos. He actually we walked through the shower setup that we had at Vale. And again, it's just a 150 quart cooler. I bought this $35 heating element on Amazon for like 35 bucks. So you drop that in and it heats the water up. And then we have a fountain pump that we screwed or hose tied a garden hose to. The garden hose runs over to the shower head and we turn it on and it blows out 100 and we actually had it up to 127 degrees one day. We had to dump cold water in the cooler to try to cool it down because no one could take a shower in it. Definitely not me. But yeah, it was definitely ideal. It worked great. And the cool thing was we had a one of the Insta shades and we just put a tarp all the way around it and it would literally steam up that room. So when you're done showering, you could walk over to the other side where we had a cot where you kept your towel and your clothes, and you could dry off in a area that was not covered in water, and you were still in a steam room, so you didn't really have any issues. It was freaking awesome. Kelby Cox, hello. Nick, it is a. They actually use them for like pools. Man, I'll have to. Maybe I can get. Let me summons the wife. Hold on. Hey, bring me your fan. Or shoot, your phone. Can you bring me your phone real quick? I need to look at the Amazon thing. That's how that works. Thanks, pumpkin. All right, let me find it real quick. Anybody want, Eric, can you talk while I'm surfing the web here after I find out where my wife?
I know.
Yep. Hey, Will Fly is in the house.
I'm on my way back from the airport, man. I just had a 90-minute flight, and it was beautiful. Butter. Absolutely beautiful.
Rub it in.
I'm sorry, man. Hey, you rubbed the warmth in, so.
Way cool. Way cool.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to wear short sleeve shirts, you know, again, and fly.
We don't know what that's like up here. Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Your lake is not frozen though now, is it?
No, it's not. It's all thawed out. But it's snowing today. It has been snowing all. I am not kidding you. It's been snowing all day today. So I can't get away from this.
That it's April.
All right, come on. Where's? Oh, there it is. Okay. So let me turn my background off here, and then I can maybe show you on this screen here. Of course, now my phone's going to be upside down. Oh, wait, I didn't turn it off. Crap. Hold on, people. Rookie here. All right, let's do it this way. All right. So.
Hey, Brian.
What's up, guys?
Mr. Waller, how's it going?
Hey.
Man, you see this grin ear to ear, dude. I'm on cloud 9 right now, dude. I just got my first flight in a month in my paramotor. Flew
Nice.
for over an hour. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
It was awesome.
Were you wearing shorts,
Nice.
Brian?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was.
that's nice.
dude. It was hot. It was like, man, today's the 13th of the month. It's going to be flight number 113 for me. I'm wearing the exact same outfit that I was wearing when I broke my leg, flying the exact same spot. I was like, oh, good, man.
Was that by design?
maybe I think it's by coincidence, and I just happened to recognize it. So I was going
Definitely.
flying regardless.
Definitely not the same underwear though, right?
No, I had my big boy pants on today.
Yeah. Congratulations, sir.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, there it is. There. I'm hoping to pull this up and be able to
Dang,
screen.
man.
Hold on here. There she is.
I see Will's driving. Are you coming back from an awesome flight too, Brett, by chance?
All right, let me screen share this real quick.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
like Ben
Will-
got
Will
up
is-
too.
Yeah, Will just got done
right.
flying himself.
Awesome.
So, Nick, this is.
I'm going to lose you guys.
Hold on, let me shrink this down. So this is what I bought. This is the exact thing. It comes with a temperature gauge for the side of the whatever you want to put it on. It doesn't work on a cooler. This here does. This we drop in the temperature to check the temperature, which is awesome. I have no idea what this thing is for, to scrub something. I don't know. But this is the submersible heating element. And we drop in a 150 quart cooler and it is freaking on point. It'll fill up, or it'll heat that 150 quart cooler to 115 degrees in about 30 minutes from hose temperature water to 115. But they will tell you in the directions that thing has to be completely submerged underwater. If you plug it in, it's not in water, it'll pop it. You're done. So keep that in mind. And we're back, I think.
It looks kind of like
Don't say it, Linda.
a curling iron.
Oh, yes.
I thought this was the show we could say those kind of things.
But it's Linda. I can't be the one that corrupts her. I just can't be the one. Oh.
It does. It looks like a curling iron without some things on the end.
Yep.
Well, that's exactly what we all thought too, Linda.
Yes.
Sure.
Hey, hopefully Nick Griffith, that helps you out with any ideas that you need. The fountain pump that I have for it, it was like a 350 gallons an hour or something pump, and I already had it laying around. So the whole setup, Brian can tell you, the whole setup is very basic but works very, very well. I mean, three of us took a shower, not together but individually, and we still ended up with maybe a quarter to a third of the water still left over, which, by the way, we would end up using that hot water to wash our dishes with at the end of the night. So it worked out pretty good. So that's all my redneck stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Are you bringing that shower to a fly-in soon?
Well, we were trying to figure out if moonshiners had a shower house, because my wife, she's like, "Is there a shower house there?" It's like, I don't recall anybody saying anything about that. I went to the website; it does not specify that they have it, but Nick Griffith said that they have a shower house and a bathroom. So I know Bad Apples has 4 showers and separate bathroom, or separate like toilet area. So we're good there. But I'll have my camper at Bad Apples. I'm just not pulling it all the way to Tennessee. That's a long drive there. I think it's a 10-hour or 4. Hold on, I'll be right back. Oh, I got my wife's phone. I'll be right back. Hold on. I'll tell you how far it is from my house.
Brian, how long of a drive is that for you?
To Moonshiners?
Yeah.
I don't think I've even mapped it, man. I don't know the exact distance, but it's somewhere around. It's a day trip, somewhere around 6 to 8 hours.
Okay, but then Bad Apples is 2 hours away. Everybody's gone. Linda's there.
I know. Me and you were. Oh, there he is.
Okay. Sorry about that. My
Yeah,
my food just showed up. So we got wings and salad fresh from the greenhouse. That's
Oh my
awesome.
God.
there you go.
Coming to your house.
I really wish my wife would have her phone set up the same way mine is, so I know where to find their apps. Takes me forever.
I just remember, yeah, your phones are the same. I used to get so pissed off at my ex, and like, he'd grab my phone and like, what are you doing? Well, I'm trying to find this. No, don't touch anything, because I knew if you even changed anything on my phone, it would freak me out. So yeah, we both have. It's just the way it is. You just have your phone set up different. That's it, Cheney.
So Mountain City, Tennessee is about 660 miles from my house. And I get about 250 miles to a tank pulling my big camper. So that'll take me a little bit of money to get there and back. And then where is Bad Apples located at?
Aurora? No, sorry, Americus. Americus, Georgia. So I am 514 miles or 8 hours from Mountain City, Tennessee. And when I map an 8-hour drive on my phone, that means pulling my camper is about 10 or 11 hours. So it'll be a full day drive for me.
And then
Yeah, that's the same thing with us.
So we're looking at
we map it out. It's always you double it and you're good.
So it's about 5.5 to 6 hours from my house to Hodges Field. 410 miles. So I can make it there on a tank in 3/4.
I'm basically 100 miles even to get there. So that's a easy day trip back and forth.
Yeah, if I wasn't pulling a camper, I mean, I could drive there and back in one day. That wouldn't be a problem.
So is Will, Eric, and Jade, are all y'all coming to Bad Apples and Moonshine, or just Moonshiners?
We're going, Jade and I are going to be doing both.
Perfect. That's awesome.
So Moonshiners is 10 hours for me, more or less, and then Bad Apples is 6 hours, let's just say. Actually, let's say about 6.5, because I'll have to stop and get fuel. At least once. And I would say, just to be safe, anybody going to Bad Apples, in case you don't get there and get a power pole, make sure you have a generator with you. It would suck to get all the way there and not have power and not have brought a generator. Oh, that would be that would suck. I'd have to run to Harbor Freight and buy me a damn inverter generator for the weekend. Take it back on Sunday.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, so it looks like we have 1,200 miles.
Which is so weird, because for me to get to Ohio, to my wife's cousin's house, it's 1,000 miles from my doorstep to theirs. But it's like another 8 hours to go to Wisconsin, Sheboygan, Wisconsin, from more or less Cincinnati, Ohio to Sheboygan.
Yeah.
So but it's only 200 miles from, well, no, never mind. I'm forgetting that we're adding another. You're stopping in Georgia. Never mind. Forget it. I haven't started drinking yet. And it's 25 minutes past, and I'm still drinking my generic Diet Dr. Pepper.
There you go.
But it's almost out. Woohoo! So with me not drinking until 8 o'clock, if you guys really even care, I was 234. I am now down to 215. The only thing I've done is not drink from 4 to 8. So but it has been the hardest from 4 to 8 because I'm usually home for an hour and a half by myself. And I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? So now I've been venturing out back with the dogs and pulling weeds and doing things to occupy my mind so I don't go for a beer. And I got off the couch earlier today and I went to get another soda and reach for the beer fridge. And I go, no sodas in there. That's the number one rule. It's only alcohol allowed in that fridge. So I had to go into the kitchen, which where's it at? That's the beer fridge. So it's just right there. Speaking of, nobody wants to see money. I haven't figured out what to do with this this room yet. It was my son's game room, and we want to turn it into a bar room, but it's a weird shape. It's like 18 feet long, but only, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's about 11 feet wide. And the way the room's laid out, I have no idea what I want to do with it, how to do it. We wanted to put a bar, like tabletop in here. It's just, there's no room. And then to put a TV, where you're going to put it, how you're going to put it. There's just too many problems with this room. But one of these days I'll rebuild it and maybe I'll do a video on it. Who knows?
There you go. How to fit everything into the room you want in there.
Yeah, because it is not set up right now at all. Like this couch is literally in the middle of the room, more or less. The TV, it's just a weird setup. If it was 2.5 feet wider, there'd be a pool table sitting right where I'm at right now. That problem would have been solved, but it's about 2 feet too short, and you can't really shoot pool and not have anything on the side. So so what we got here? Kent Stamey, I'm just trying to catch up on the chat real quick. Kent Stamey, I actually will be getting up with you, sir, to talk about bad apples. Who all in the chat is actually going to bad apples? If you could drop a I'm going or yes, I'll be there in the chat. Maybe actually, Brian, Eric, we can like you said, that Friday Saturday thing. We do 2 pork butts feeds a lot of people, and it's very little work, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I gave you the price pretty much for that, so that's really nothing. And Saturday, if we really wanted to, we could do that Crockpot Lasagna, which has been my kryptonite. I've tried 4 different times to videotape that, and it's the easiest thing in the world, and I've never been able to do it. Something always happens. I lose footage. Something didn't come out right. It kills me. It's been my kryptonite, and it's the easiest dish. One of my biggest videos on YouTube is a crockpot dish, and I don't even remember making that. And the one I want to make, I can't freaking get the film right or the videoing right. Audio cuts out. I've had the audio completely not even available. Don't do that to me, Eric. God dang it. What now? What are you guys doing? Jade, what are we drinking? Oh, they ain't listening, huh? All right, so we have Josh Perry. We have Josh Perry going, Ben from Paramotor NC. So DP, is there a relation between Josh Perry and you? Asking for a friend. And Nick, Griffith, have I seen your paratrailer yet? Oh, actually, I've seen the inside of it when you were on the show the other night, or my show last week. Hey, Josh, how far are you from Bad Apples that you're debating trailer or staying at a hotel? Because I'm telling you, you're not going to, I don't know if you've ever been to a fly-in, but you're going to hate yourself having to leave at the end of the night. to go to your hotel room. Oh, okay. Oh, you jackass. I believed you for a minute. I asked Josh Perry, said he's my dad. then he replied, just kidding. I was like, ah. Oh, now I don't believe either one of you.
Yeah, no kidding.
Remember I used to like them? Just kidding.
Just kidding. Yeah, Josh, 1,200 miles, man. I feel your pain there pulling a trailer, but let me tell you, I'm not missing out on nothing. And plus, I like sleeping in my own bed. I don't like hotels.
Yeah. I don't mind hotels. When it comes to leaving and everybody's having fun, you're like, oh, I got to hurry up and go to bed so that I can travel back here in the morning. And then you got to tote all your gear into the hotel room or leave it in your truck and worry about it all night long. If you're at the field and you're having a good time, you have no travels, no nothing. Your equipment's there. Everything's just readily available. It's awesome. So Josh is 1,200 miles from, man.
You're on film.
What's up, Rico Suave?
How do, folks?
What's up with the get up there?
We have a 22nd anniversary tomorrow, but I'm actually in a tennis tournament, so we went out tonight.
Congratulations. Is that table tennis?
No, that is actual tennis on the hard courts.
All right.
And Josh is not a relation to me. We just have fun with it.
No, both of you got me good. I'm like, oh, it's his dad. And then you're like, he's my boy. I'm like, why are you messing with me? And then you put, I'm just kidding. I'm like, what a bunch of assholes.
Well, and up until tonight, we've been calling each other cuz. So tonight was the first night we actually took it to that next level.
Oh, that's why you're all dressed up. It ain't your 22nd, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I don't know if it's gonna be my 26th. I don't know.
Better get it right, dude.
No, shoot, she don't even know. Let's ask her. Hold on. Hey, Krista. How many years? What's our next anniversary coming up? How many years? 26. Are you sure?
Married.
Yeah, I know. Married. That's what I'm asking.
I love her.
Anyways, 26 years. Good Lord.
26. Congratulations to her.
That's why I drink.
That's a strong woman.
Mm-hmm. You have no idea. She is, she's my rock, dude. I joke about, not liking her or whatever, but honestly, that chick she's amazing. I can't say enough nice things about her. Really can't. She's made me the man I am today. Damn you, woman. Oh,
Hey, Shane.
I love you guys.
yes, sir.
You know what you sent me the other day in text? You sent me a picture.
No.
You don't remember?
The chicken?
Picture of a happy man.
Oh, the smoker. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I show that?
Oh, yeah.
Check this out. Let me share screen.
This isn't Shane with boobs again, is it?
No.
You could only be
You want to see a happy man? Take a look at that. Is he not happy or what? I mean, you can just tell he's tickled pink to have that thing behind him.
That's the best selfie I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's an awesome selfie. I mean, that smile and those eyes tell it all.
That's my brand new pit smoker, man. There's 1,000 square inches.
Yeah, I noticed your wife wasn't in that photo, though. It was just you and your smoker.
I think she was in the camper putting the groceries that we just bought. So this is probably one of my biggest Walmart purchases along with all our food for the weekend to go on camping. So it was a hefty bill. I was just like, what? But yeah.
It came assembled?
Oh yeah. I could have ordered it without it and put it together, and I found out it was like an hour and a half of putting things together, and I was like, no, I'll just wheel this one out. And it was raining. Was it raining? Oh, I think the winds were blowing really high or something that day. But yeah, it was it's a very happy day. I've made some chicken on it, and I think if I can find a brisket, I'm gonna try a brisket Saturday.
Have you found a way to maintain the temperature or control the temperature?
So I have watched about 400 hours of reviews and how-tos and mods and all this other stuff with this smoker. There's a thing on there called P settings, which is the P stands for pause. And 0 has like an 18-second pause, and then it goes all the way up to 7, which is like 170 seconds on how much it rotates to put the pellets in to create the heat and the smoke. And but when I cooked that chicken, I put it on I think 6 or 7, and I turned the dial up to the temperature I wanted, and it was running a little hotter than I wanted. If I would turn the temperature down, I forget how it goes now. If I turn the P setting down, I won't get as much smoke, but I'll get heat. But then my heat temperature thing, I don't know. I'm still messing with it. Let's just skip that part.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, you know, the first mistake I did do to it when I put that chicken on the grill and cooked it, I burned everything off of it, right? No problem. I got all the factory oils and grease and stuff off of it. I did not spray the grates. So every one of those chickens stuck to where they were at. And as I go to lift the first chicken up, I go, oh, I was so quick to hurry up and cook something. I skipped the most basic flipping rule. It's brand new. It's brand new. You got to spray it. Man, I'm out there trying to get the chicken up off of there, and it wasn't burnt, but it was stuck very well. I was like, oh, dude, I'm glad I didn't videotape that. I would have posted it, but as a complete rookie mistake kind of thing. But yeah, I totally did that. I couldn't believe it.
Supposed to season these grills when you first get them, or you do that?
I mean, you spray them,
just oil them.
Yeah, you spray them with Pam, or spray Pam on them. So, some people say that you got to spray the whole inside with Pam or whatever. Then I've seen other reviews say that you don't need to, just spray the grates. I really wish I would have sprayed my grates because it didn't work out well for my chicken coming off the grill. The chicken did come out very well. I think it was a little overdone and a little dry, but outside of that,
outside of overdone and dry, it was perfect.
Yeah, no, I think it was just a little if I could have taken it off probably 15 minutes earlier, it would have been spot on. The skin was good. The flavor and everything was good. It was just, to me, it was a little dry. My wife's like, it's fine. I was like, no, it was just, I'm kind of hard on myself when it comes to the cooks and stuff. Even though it comes out great, it could be a little bit better in my head. And I mean, if not, I'm never going to be able to be a better cook. So I got to kind of be a little rough on myself, I guess.
What type of pellets are you using? What wood?
I am actually using a competition blend. And the reason I bought that is because it's good for all meats. It's fish, chicken, pork, beef. So I was just like, you know what? I don't know what I'm really doing so much with the new pellet. I didn't know how hard it was going to take the pellets in and out. So you fill this hopper up and then you're like, oh, I want to change flavors of pellets. How hard is it to change it out? I didn't know all that. Now I know it's not that hard. You literally pull the trap door and almost all the pellets fall out of it. And you just hold a bucket under it and let it all run in there and you're good to go. So it's like I said, it is work in progress, and I'm trying to get okay with it before I show up bad apples, because that's what I'm bringing with me, just so you know. And I'll be bringing that to Moonshiners as well.
Yeah, and we want you to work out all the kinks.
Me
before you
too.
get there.
So who's nobody?
That's me. That's my computer.
Oh,
I
okay,
have to,
gotcha.
I have to have a computer to be host from Sean. So I just put nobody up there. And if I turn the video on, it's just a picture of, the canvas that Craig Taylor got for me. Yeah, it's nobody. Nobody's the host.
Hey, so tell us about this lasagna.
This is my nemesis for making a video put on YouTube. So the only thing you have to cook for this Crockpot lasagna that I want to make at Bad Apples is you just have to brown the meat. Everything else goes in there not cooked. The noodles, you don't cook those. You just break them into the shape of the Crockpot, and you do the layers like you would normally do a lasagna. And you put it on low, and you come back 8-9 hours later, and you've got a Crockpot or a lasagna that's 7 to 9 inches thick. So you need a good metal spoon, by the way. You're not going to go at it with no plastic flimsy thing. It's not going to work out well. Lesson learned on my end. But yeah, it is with we've had a couple of people over. We've thrown a party or two, and they're always asked for the Crockpot lasagna. So, and it's so simple. It's 5 pounds of hamburger, a little thing of ricotta. Not that you use the whole bag, but 5 pounds of mozzarella, a big jug of marinara, and a box of noodles, cheese. It's hamburger. It's super easy.
You need any fresh tomatoes for that, man? Because I'm pretty sure I can bring you some.
Man, I just had my wife just made goulash tonight, and she gets the canned peeled tomatoes, and she goes in there and crushes them all up and makes a mess all over the kitchen. And then I disappear because I'm not cleaning that up. Like, there's got to be a different way of doing that. You could cut those up to smaller and then crush them up or something.
Brian, I saw you eating that salad, and I'm thinking that came right out of the garden.
It really did. It was literally just picked an hour ago. We're going to have thousands of cherry tomatoes just from like 4 plants. It's crazy. I've got one stem on one plant that has 77 cherry tomatoes on it. It's crazy.
Oh my God. I love cherry tomatoes.
Yeah. Things you can eat like grapes. They're good.
They're good on salad.
Tomatoes. Are you going to sell them? Are your tomatoes, Brian?
I'm gonna eat every one of them. No, I'm gonna give away what I can't eat, and what I can't give away may make its way to a compost pile. I don't know, but eventually I'll build a stand once I get regular production coming, and just go put it up there. It'll disappear probably.
Linda, what's our chances of finding you at Moonshiners?
Very slim right at the moment, sir.
Why?
Because I'm still, I'm still hanging with the parents and just trying to figure out stuff.
You're living rent free. You could Uber.
I know. I would love to be with you guys. Seriously, I would.
Linda, put your type in on your phone on the Google Maps where mountains, how far Mountain City, Tennessee is from you. Don't show us your address. Then it's like, look, I'm this far. I'm at 321 Main Street.
Okay, hold on.
We got JP Tulo in the house.
JP's there, yay!
Linda, all you got to do is drive to the border. We'll pick you up and take you the rest of the way.
I know you would too.
But you got to sit in the camper.
There's like so much family stuff going on right now.
We're not talking about right now. We're talking about all the way in August.
August, okay.
August 4th through
love to
8th.
Take that ride in a camper, man. That would be awesome. Instead of having to ride in the truck up front and drive, just sit back in the camper, man, and take a nap.
Man, I have thought about that a million times. If I trusted somebody to drive that knew what they were doing, and I could go back there and just kind of just as a camper's bouncing and be sleeping in bed, oh man, I'd be rocking me to bed. Oh man. I'd be ready to rock and roll.
Now I can relate to that. Doing the rodeo, running the rodeo trail like for years and years. Yeah. I've done that before. Okay, I'm going to sleep now. You drive. I'm good. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I've done all that for sure.
Hey, Jade, do you pull the fifth wheel too? Do you help out driving the fifth wheel or?
I do. Just don't ask me to back.
Oh no, my wife. We got back from camping this past weekend, and she knows when she's pulling the cargo trailer. She just pulls up on the side of the road next to the mailbox. We'll back the trailer up, get it all taken care of, and then I'll back her car up with the little trailer. For whatever reason, Miss Thing decides, oh, I'm going to back this thing in. 72 turns later, she's almost took out 3 mailboxes, never even attempted to get into the driveway. And I'm yelling at her, stop, because I'm waiting for the jackknife the car into the trailer.
I would have had it jackknifed.
And I'm like,
yeah, that's me.
What is different from this trip than any other trip? You pull up to the mailbox and you get out. It's not that hard. She's like, I was just trying to help. I'm like, what do I always say? I never really help. I'm like, and you're not now. Move. She had that thing all jacked up in the middle of the road, and I'm just like, oh man.
That's why I love her, because Janie, I can totally relate to all that.
Neighbors are looking out the window, shaking their head.
Do y'all have backup cameras, man? On the back?
We do on the car, but that wouldn't help her none.
I mean, I've got a backup camera that's hardwired to a video screen on the dash of my truck. And I literally will not accept anybody's help on the road to help me back up. I will get out and look at it myself. People will try to give me hand signals and stuff. I just ignore them. I look at the camera because every time somebody helps me, they totally screw me up.
Yeah.
But I am awesome at doing it by myself with the camera. I back it in on the first time, new places every time.
I'm very thankful that I bought a truck that has a backup camera on the back of the truck now, because it would take me 18 times with my wife helping me back up the truck to attach it to the trailer. Because she would instead of, if the ball's to the right or to the left of the hitch, or the ball's left of the trailer, she'd be like, you need to go more that way, more left. No, now I'm further away. And now I got the backup camera. I don't even look at her. I just back up and hook up and I'm good.
Thank God for the backup cameras now. Holy moly.
Yeah, one of our first trips that we went on, Jade drove the fifth wheel, one of our first dates. And then when we went to North Carolina, she drove, some of the way to North Carolina, which is awesome.
So how'd that first date work out for you,
Yeah,
Eric?
come on. You got to keep going on with this. Yeah, we want to know, Eric.
I'm still sitting next to him.
You cracked me up in the chat, Nick. He's going to be out there giving all kind of hand signals.
Yeah.
Hey, don't take any offense, brother. I'm going to ignore you like I do everybody else.
Yeah, right.
Oh, man. That's funny.
We have 13 people back there trying to help you.
Yeah.
We went camping one time, and this guy showed up with a triple axle fifth wheel, and it was way too big for the campsite. And I mean, as soon as I seen the trailer pull by our campsite, I was like, he's not going into that site, is he? And we all pulled our chairs up like total assholes, drinking beer. We set our chairs right at the end of our campsite by the road and watched this guy just in, out, back, forth, left, right. And he finally got it in there. He had to take his truck and put it in overflow parking because his trailer was almost out in the road and he was as far back as he could get. And I guess Sunday morning, bright and early, we all got up and this is way before I learned how to fly or what have you. And we were all kind of like making breakfast or whatever. And as he drives by, he's like, "Thanks, assholes, for ruining my weekend." I was like, "Why?" Because we sat and watched you try to get into a campsite that you obviously didn't look at the feet of how big of a trailer you could have in there. We laughed the rest of that Sunday. We laughed, just thought it was the funniest thing ever. He gonna blame his entire weekend on us sitting by there. No one said nothing. No one offered to help. We just sat there and drank beer and watched him. It took him a good 35 minutes to get into that campsite.
You didn't
Don't you know that their blood pressure was through the roof by the time they got there? I've seen so many couples argue, man. The wife will get out, she'll start backing them, and you'll just hear them start yelling at each other. And if you go there and help, you're just stepping into a firestorm.
Yep. And, welcome to my campsite. We're Brian, my wife and I do. We need that shirt that says "Sorry what I said" when we were backing the camper up. We both need that shirt because we do the same thing, the same routine. We have had this camper for 5 years now. We camp almost every other weekend. So you would think every time we get out, we do the exact same thing. My wife throws a loop every time and does something different.
Well, that's what we do, Shaney.
That's not what. Okay. First thing you got to do is level the camper. And she's already like trying to run the slide out. I'm like, the camper's not even level. Oh, okay. What do we got to do? Well, we got to take it off the truck. We have to chalk the wheels, take it off the truck, get the front to go left or up or down to get the front and back level. Once that's done, then you got to get side to side. So I'm trying to do side to side, and she's holding the level on the side of the camper. No, dear, you need to go into the front of the camper. So while we're on the front and get the left to right, not the forward and backwards. Oh, it's the same thing every time. I'm just like, what happens if something happens to me? You need to know how to take this camper down, hook it up, and drive away. No, it cracks me up though. But yeah, we do have a little bit of hissy fits every now and then. But it's not. I've heard way worse than anything. I'm usually like, "Come on, Krista, we know what we got to do next, right?" That's usually about my extent of it. But yeah, it is. It cracks me up to listen to couples backing the trailers up.
Nick just said, look at a boat landing for a little while. You want to see something funny. I agree with him there, man. You could sit there and watch boat landings for days. That's hilarious. I've seen people get pinched between their boat and the dock. And I mean, it's same thing. I don't know how many divorces started at the boat landing.
I don't know the name of it, but there's a guy apparently has a house that is across the street from a public boat ramp. And all he does is videotapes people backing in and out and taking off with the launching and loading boats. And this dude has like 1 million subscribers. And it's all it is like, I mean, it makes tons of sense because people love to watch chaos. And that's exactly what it is at a boat ramp. You got some guys that are complete bosses when it comes to backing their boats up and unloading and getting out of the way. And then you got other people that will spend an hour trying to figure out how to back their boat up, how to get it off the trailer, how to hook it up. And yeah, you just watch this like absolute chaos. And this guy's just probably sitting at his breakfast nook, just laughing his butt off, rolling in the money on YouTube.
Is this in Miami?
Yeah.
I've seen that. I have seen it.
He's rolling in the money, so he's got one of those new trucks that you just turn this little knob and it backs it up for you.
Yeah, that's my truck.
I've never used one, man. I don't know how they work. So tell me about that, man. Have you ever used it to back your trailer, and how does it work?
So I will tell you, don't ever put your arm in through the steering wheel and hit that knob because it will rip your arm off. It is the scariest thing ever. You literally do not grab that steering wheel. You can't stop. Once you turn that knob, if your other hand's trying to stop it, you can't stop that wheel. It just turns. So, when you're backing a trailer up, if you want the back of the trailer to go left, you turn the steering wheel to the right. It's opposite. Well, with the knob, if you want the truck or the trailer to go left, you turn the knob left. you want it to go right, you turn it right, and it will literally go exactly the way you want it. The smallest little micro turns to it, it'll alert the steering wheel. You'll see it just go. It's freaky, and I've hooked it up on. Long story short, before I got this truck, I bought another truck that was supposed to have the tow package. You did not have the tow package, so they swapped me trucks. So I got a truck now that has a tow package. I haven't hooked this truck up to the trailer. They got a little checkerboard thing that I have on the tongue of the trailer, and the camera literally measure from the camera to the checkerboard sticker, and then you back up and then you pull forward and you turn left, turn right, and it measures. You get all these measurements, and then literally after that, you just use the knob to back up. But that steering wheel it's on, dude. Brian, what you keep looking at?
I'm checking the chat on my other phone.
Oh,
So
why are you smiling at that other phone?
I was probably just thinking about some stuff, man. Had a good day today. Got to fly. Man, it just put a smile on my face for the next week, I think. And I needed a fix bad. But, dude, I went a whole month without flying, literally exactly a month, from the 13th to the 13th. And last time I flew was in Florida, I think. But my first time I came in for a landing, I wasn't actually coming in for a landing. I was actually just testing to see if there's going to be any sink on the runway because I knew it was a little colder down low. And, nailed it, got about 5 feet off the ground. Second time coming around, I was like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and land. And I come in for a landing, and, I'm playing with the flare. I practice my little swoop where you give it a little gas before you come in landing. Get
right.
the wing, and it swoops forward, you get a little energy, come in a little faster. And I did that. I get down, flare is looking good, getting ready to land. I say, I'm still in my seat. And I was basically foot dragging flare and getting ready to land. And I hadn't even come out of my seat, man. Total rookie move. I gave it gas and came around, and I nailed it on the third landing. But
right,
like, man, flying really is a perishable skill. I haven't done anything in a month.
Get a little rusty?
Yeah, if you go to land and you're still in your seat, that's pretty rusty.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
pretty rusty.
Yeah, we all make mistakes, but it was no big deal because I had plenty of speed. I wasn't, and I hadn't killed the engine. I normally don't kill the engine until my feet touch the ground now, but no big deal. Go around, do it again. That's what you got plenty of runway for.
Is that something they taught you at Aviators? No, I'm
butt landing.
No. Not shutting the motor off until you land.
No, they actually trained me to kill it on landing as you're coming in. Once everything feels good, before you touch down, you kill the engine and you commit. That's kind of how training went, as far as I remember. But it depended. On days that we were doing touch and goes, that kind of thing. We wouldn't kill the engine. Sometimes we would kill it and we keep kiting the wing and they come over there and crank it. But for the most part, I think they taught me to kill the engine right before I touched down.
Yeah, because I was taught to never land with the motor on. So when I'm about the time I get out of my seat and I go, okay, I'm definitely going to be committed, and I reach up and hit that kill switch, I'm like, yep, we're committed now. But I never kill that motor until after I'm out of my seat and I know I'm clear. But
speaking of kill switches, man, I'm gonna have a video come out for long. Hopefully, I can get around to processing it. But I spent all day today installing a secondary kill switch on my unit, and so I've got 2 kill switches now.
Nice.
Sunday, 2 days ago, I tried to take off. Didn't have the runway cut good, so a bunch of my lines snagged on the inflation, and the wing didn't come up straight. And I was like, okay, well, it happens. I'll reset the wing. I go to kill the engine, nothing. And I'm sitting there trying to kill it, nothing. So I hold the kill button, wiggle it, and I start wiggling the throttle cable all the way around. Finally, the engine dies. I said, well, okay, well, obviously I've got a broken conductor somewhere, a short or a open circuit somewhere. So I didn't reset my wing. I packed it in, luckily I was able to just jump in the plane, go fly with Dad. So I still got to fly, but and I replaced the switch. Still didn't fix the problem. The switch was intermittently working. So I replaced the entire wire inside the harness, added a second wire, and I've got a special toggle switch that locks in both the open and closed position, or on and off. You have to literally pull up on the toggle switch to move it. It fits perfectly through my J-arm, one of the holes for the hang points. So I've got an extra little switch on my J-arm now that locks. So if I ever get in that situation where your throttle gets locked, your ignition kill switch doesn't work, I've got a backup.
Just know you got about an hour and 45 minutes of being pinned to the ground if it doesn't work either, because no one's going to reach around. And did you see that guy that was putting his motor on his throttle, hit the tow haul rack or whatever, and it slammed his throttle wide open and it just drove him into the ground? Luckily, he broke his prop and they were able to get the motor off of him. But man, what would you do if it held you to the ground? It knocked you to the ground and that thing just was full throttle. You couldn't get up. No one could get under you. How are you going to reach up and hit somebody's kill switch if they're held to the ground with that thing on your back? Just man, that would wait a couple hours.
Hey, Jay,
didn't
film
have a lot
this.
of gas.
That's what I'd say.
Somebody I know, I don't know if they're actually doing this, but the idea of your kill switch not working, being able to kill the engine in an emergency while you're flying if its throttle gets stuck wide open, they had a pretty good solution. Rather than went to all the trouble that I did, they basically just put a ripcord around a spark plug wire and tied it to a place on their frame where they could get to it, where the rope wouldn't go into the prop. So worst case scenario, they could reach up there and pull that wire, just snatch the spark plug wire off the plug, and that's going to kill the engine.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
I like that idea, actually.
Yeah, I did too. That's why I passed it along.
If your engine dies and you go to start it, you snag that. You'd have to maybe put it on the other side.
Just know that engineers, and I am an engineer, so I'll say that, but designed the units that we work on, and they put a lot of thought into a lot of these different things. Every time you modify something, change something, you really better know what you're doing. Right. Adding a secondary kill switch in the wrong spot, it could accidentally get triggered on takeoff and it could hurt you in that particular situation. Putting a rip stop cord on your spark plug wire, if you don't do it right, it gets sucked into the prop. It's going to come off when you don't want it to. So
right,
you definitely got to be careful making modifications.
But the thing is how much money we spend on these units. Why are we having these problems? You're not the only one that's had the problem with why are they putting 22 gauge wire in there? What's going on?
Well, they haven't solved the root cause of all the problems, or most of the problems is vibration. And these motors they shake like mad, and vibration at time will tear apart anything. And but yeah, cheaply made 22 gauge wire and a throttle. Come on, man. I mean, they can do better than that for sure.
Right. My kill switch quit working after 16 hours. I had to replace. I just ended up replacing the whole 2 cables that were in the throttle, and I haven't had any issues with the new throttle. Which, by the way, anybody have a PAP throttle? You can get the kill switches on Amazon for, I want to say $10 for 5 kill switches, and they come in different colors. So just keep me in mind if you guys, anybody with a PAP that decides their kill switch isn't working, because I found them on Amazon. Shannon Michaels actually gave me the heads up, and I ordered them, and they were the exact same fit. I couldn't have been more happier. I thought it was going to be one of those, I'm going to have to rig something up and make it look all crappy, but no, it literally went in the same hole. It locked into place, and I've been flying with that one ever since 16 hours, and I haven't had any issues with it.
Brian,
is anybody
Pellini throttle? Brian,
what, Will?
Well, I was asking Brian if he had the Pellini throttle.
Yes, yes, I do. It comes stock on the Parajet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I had literally 4.8 hours on my engine the first time the switch went out and the wire broke. The wire broke, and in the soldering process, I damaged the switch. So,
well, I mean, we got the same as Parajet Maverick, right?
I'm having a hard time hearing you, Will.
You have the Parajet Maverick, right?
Yes.
Okay. So,
MY19.
Yeah, I had the MY20, but I've had 2 failures of my kill switch. So I'm wondering, how do you stow your throttle when you're traveling?
Okay. So both the times that mine has died is because of, and this will show up in my video, but basically where the sheathed wire throttle assembly comes out right above the J arm that pivots, you get that spot that bends a lot. And that, wires fatigue when you bend them over and over. And that's the spot. That's the reason holding the button solid and wiggling that wire around like that would eventually kill it when it broke.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, I reinforced that point this time with some spiral wrap and electrical tape. So the point that normally bends a lot is way more stiff. I couldn't tell any difference today flying it, but to answer your question, I normally clip in my throttle strap to my left carabiner and tuck the throttle cable under the seat and close the seat up on it so it's not sticking out.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I mean, I don't attach it to my carabiner, but I was wondering because when both times when mine failed, it was the wire was broken inside the sheathing towards the center, towards the middle. So I'm wondering if the continual storing it and bending it. I mean, I'm not bending it in 2. You know how they are. I mean, you just kind of tuck it in there and store it. So I don't know. It's definitely a problem.
Yeah, Jade and I both have the same throttles, the Pellinis, and we have not had any problems. And she has probably 40 hours on hers. I have 50 hours on mine. And we put the Velcro strap through the carabiners when we store them. On my foot launch, she just sets it in their seat. But I don't think it's a matter of how you store the throttle, really. I think I think every individual unit is going to have its own little gremlins.
Yeah, JR Paramotor says he has a magnet to store his throttle. I now have a throttle. I have a magnet for my throttle. And normally I would lift the seat up, hook the seat up so it stays up, and then you tuck all your leg straps and stuff in, and then I would put the throttle inside there. Now I just hook it up to the magnet, and it's up out of the way. And so far, I haven't had any issues with it catching or anything like that. But so far, I love that throttle because when you're taking your gear off, you have to stow a lot of people put their throttles in their netting. I can't, I've had shoulder surgery on this arm. I can't reach back and put it in there. And if I do get it in there, I can't get it out. So if I have my motor on it, I'm like pulling the cable, trying to get it to turn so it'll come out. So I now have that magnet, and I absolutely
That's
love
not a common problem to have, Skinny Chef.
What's that?
Well, you just said got it in there, couldn't get it out.
Oh well.
How could you miss that, Shane?
I just started drinking, man. I'm slow right now.
Yeah.
There's too much blood in my alcohol system.
Does anybody in here use a dual start?
That's a no, apparently.
Yes.
You do?
Jade has one on her Pellini throttle. I have one on a throttle. It's called a Chameleon. It's a finger throttle.
And is that the only time, or I mean, have you always had a dual start, or have you not had a dual start and went to one? And what are the pros and cons, I guess, of having that? Because I'm going to have to be making these decisions.
I had my foot launch. I have two units. My foot launch is a pull start, and my Trike is a electric start. The electric starts don't work when they get cold. So I don't know, where, depending on where you live, in northern Wisconsin, when we're flying off a lake, you pull start it. But I'll tell you what, in 20-degree weather, they start good. So I've heard of the electric starts just having a lot of problems. And honestly, the amount of money that you're going to spend, you might as well just go with a pull start, and it also will shave off a little bit of weight that you're hauling around with you. And these units seem to start just fine just by starting them like normal. They really do.
Hey, we have a question in the chat from Michael. He said, newbie question. If your kill switch wire breaks, does your motor die? Other words, no. What happens is your motor will not die. So,
the only way to die if that happens is if the broken wire shorts to ground and it's the right wire going to the coil.
Yeah, that's
basically
correct.
impossible.
That happened on my very first flight. Is the kill switch did die? It broke the wire, and every time I turned, it was trying to kill the motor. So that's a yes and no answer.
Correct.
But more than likely, and more than likely, your motor will not die unless, like Brian said, it shorts out to ground.
Yeah, the switches on these things use a normally open contact. So as soon as you press the button, it completes a contact between a ground point, which is one wire, and the ignition coil, and that kills your engine. So
I wish I had an e-start when my motor wouldn't start back up from a mile. That would have been great, because I started getting real tired pulling that joker, trying to the pull start to get, which, by the way, has anybody had their motor die in flight and then have to put your arms through the risers to throw yourself forward out, like you're trying to throw yourself out of the seat? Because it's an eerie feeling, by the way. I don't know if anybody's had that happen yet.
Your legs were really bucking when you were trying to restart that.
Man,
that's good content.
Yeah. Is this good content?
Yeah, Kyle.
Yeah, I should have said that. Man, I think 2 days later, my abs were hurting from all the freaking yanking. Dude, I tried until I couldn't pull it no more. And I was like, all right, I'll just need to take a break. Let me just rest up and make sure I'm going in the right area. And oh, dude, I did not expect that. Honestly, I never have had my motor off that long before. And I guess it just needed a primer bulb hit again or something. I have no idea.
yeah, that's exactly what you needed. We've had somebody on the show that they've had this issue before. If you go up there as soon as your engine cools for a while, because you're just gliding down for 10 or 15 minutes or whatever, and you go to crank it, it won't crank. Well, you're on the ground, you normally just take it off and prime it. One guy that came on the show, he actually added a secondary prime bulb that you could reach from in your harness while you're flying. So he basically added a second, or rerouted the fuel line with a second bulb on it to solve that problem, because apparently he had it happen a lot. Having a hard time restarting the engine after it's cooled.
So question, with an e-start, if you just held the e-start and just kept cranking on it, would it pull enough fuel to the carburetor, or you still have to prime it?
I think it would pull enough fuel eventually, but the batteries aren't going to last that long. That's the other thing, is you're dealing with LiPo batteries. LiPo batteries are just a demon in themselves. They're volatile batteries. They start fires. You can't drop them below a certain voltage. I'm not going to knock anybody that has e-start or knock anything about the e-start. It is a problem that is out there.
It's just another possibility of another problem with the motor that's already a problem.
Correct.
You bring up a good point about the batteries. We also had another guy on the show. I'm sorry, I can't remember everybody's names that get past guests, but he actually had his battery catch on fire from like 500 or 600 feet high, and it was mounted right beside the fuel tank. He spiraled down, coming out of his harness like he's coming in for a water landing, got out quick, you know. He was fine. But it was, you know, it's a possibility.
He ripped his battery pack off and threw it on the ground, and it was just literally just smoking like crazy. And it was right next to his fuel tank. I can't remember the guy's name.
Yeah. So Will and Brian, have you looked to see where they put the batteries for your electric start?
I don't know. I don't have an electric start.
Right, but your tank is the same. If you look at your tank behind your back mount, you're going to see a black piece of metal that's built into your tank. The battery sits in a little area that's molded out of the tank. That battery sits there.
That close to the tank?
Yes.
Dang.
Yeah, on the Parajet, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I've seen it when I had my tank off the other day.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought that's where the starter mounted. I didn't realize that's where the battery went. I thought the battery would be further away.
Yeah, that's where the battery goes. That's where Jade's battery is. My battery on my other one is not, I have a LiPo bag that it sits in.
When I was first looking at the equipment to buy, it came down to the Parajet Maverick, and I remember, I think it was the Nitro 200. Long story short, the other paramotor only came in either pull start or electric start. It didn't have dual. And so I'm glad I went the way I went, because like Shane said, it's just something else that can break. And of course you got the battery issue. And when I brought it up to one of the forums, one of the guys said, hey, pull start has never let me down. You know, I mean, you can be out in the middle of a field and you can still crank your engine. But if you're in the middle of a field and you got a dead battery and all you got is e-start, well, you know, different story.
You got nothing.
Yeah. And it doesn't take much to crank these things. I mean, you don't have to yank real hard.
I do see people getting full arm lengths on these things, starting them. And I think, was it Anthony that did what common problems with pull starts? People are overextending them and pulling too far to where they actually lock out. And that's how they end up breaking. I think he did a video on it. It was either him or someone else. Somebody did one, and so now I only do this part. I don't actually throw my whole arm out. I just do a little bit, because I used to go all the way to the very end of it, trying to get, you know, the most compression out of it and get it to start. But now I just do little short stabs at it.
Use one
That's
hand,
how they taught
one arm.
Yeah, one arm. Unless I'm in the middle of flying, and then
2 hands.
Shade.
I got a total gym, and a part of my workout is to literally replicate the cranking action of a paramotor.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely works. Damn it, I was going to say something else. I got sidetracked.
Thinking about Shane's big muscles.
Yeah, tell a joke, Shane. No pressure.
Oh, not today. No.
No, but I know what I was going to say.
What?
So Fletch at Aviator was teaching me. I don't know if you know the pool starters. They actually have 2 springs in them. They have a spring, like an outer spring and an inner spring. I don't know if y'all have been inside them. I've seen pictures and some videos on them. But so you have one spring you load, which loads a turning device, which loads another spring on the crank shaft. And so when you pull it all the way like that, you're basically overloading one of the springs, the outside spring. There's a technique where you can do where you go pull, 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 and you use about 3/4 of the full stroke, but you're never just going room, room. You just never do that, because that spring can only transfer energy from one spring to the other so fast as the engine's turning. So there's this little technique where you go pull, pull, pull. And almost every time on the second or third pull, it cranks. And you never have to pull it hard like that. So
Right.
give that a try next time you're cranking your paramotor. See what it does for you.
I'll try it. I mean, I was in panic mode, no lies. So when my motor wouldn't start when I was coming down, I just all I wanted that thing to do is start. I did, and especially when I seen all the wings set up by the taxi and all running towards the camper, I was like, man, here we go again, another fly-in. Shane's gonna end up in the back of a camper. It's gonna happen.
Well, you were worried about the runway too, right?
Yeah, because every morning they start out with 15. Don't cross the runway. Rule number 1. Rule number 2. Don't cross the runway. I mean, it was just every morning. It was repeated over and over and over. And here I am. I'm just like, dude, I got no choice. I just figured at that point, if someone said something, I'd be like, here's my phone. This is the problem that I had. I had no choice. And if it was a problem, then I would have packed up and left. I mean, what are you going to do?
You'd have to be a cold a-hole to send a pilot home for having an engine out. You know what I mean? I mean,
well, this is the conversation I had with myself. I literally was just debating how do I not cross this runway, but I have no choice. There's no way I'm gonna be able to circle, do a flyby, and I wasn't gonna risk cutting or flying over the campers and landing behind the campers just to avoid the runway. I was just like, dude, I looked both ends. If there had been a plane coming in to land or getting ready to take off, I would have done something different. But the runway was clear. And I was just like, well, screw it. I got no choice. And I was banking on showing the video to whoever was having the problem with me crossing the runway. And that was my way of dealing with it. I'd have been like, look, this is my situation. I don't have a motor. I'm free flight at this point. So everything worked out. I actually went and told Carson what happened, and he's like, oh, dude, don't worry about it. It's all good. I mean, it was absolutely not a big deal. So, but yeah, I was worried about it. I was just thought for sure I'd land and just somebody pull up in a golf cart and be like, all right, you're out of here. So amongst all the other worries I had, that was an added one that apparently wasn't necessary.
no.
But as soon as you get your 185, let me know. We'll mash the throttle and just keep going till we hit the mile.
I've been thinking about it.
He's going to outrun you big time if he gets a 185, man.
Oh, yes, he will.
Yeah.
Yes, he will.
Good night.
Hey,
Bye,
good night, Linda.
Bye, Linda.
Bye.
Oh,
Linda,
You
what
gotta go
is-
down, hang with the parents and all that stuff. But
Hey, wait,
Hey.
before you go, did you get your screenshot, Shane?
No, Linda, before you go, what did you write down before the show you were supposed to remember?
oh yeah. I got it right here. Paramotorcalendar.com.
If you guys haven't uploaded your vid or your pictures to Paramotor Calendar, is it Paramotorcalendar.com? If you have a photo that you would like to be in a calendar, a paramotor calendar, make sure you go there, upload your video or your photo, and hope for the best. So
A paramotor
wait.
related
I can't wait to
picture,
see
right?
yes, a paramotor related picture. Yes.
I can't wait. That's gonna be awesome calendar. I would be like, I know who that is. I know that. Yeah, good.
All right, Linda. Have a good night.
Love y'all. See you later.
Good night.
Good
You
night,
know
Linda.
where we find all each other during the week. So,
What's on Thursday night?
paraglidingshop.com.
What time?
I know, every time I say that, I just like smile. I don't know why.
What time?
Boy. All right, you guys, y'all be safe, okay? Have a great weekend.
All right, Linda. It's 9 o'clock
Yep. I'll see you.
Eastern time.
Okay, bye.
8 Central.
8
Yeah.
Central. Yes.
For y'all Central timers.
I know. Bye, guys.
See you, Linda.
Bye.
Hey, Dave, are you flying yet?
No, not yet, but I had a question. Has anyone here ever been to One Up Adventures for training? Or do you know of anybody that did?
One Up, isn't that where Allie's at?
It's in Lake Wales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Travis Burns.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mike Cutter's helping him out.
There's a possibility of my going there on May 29th for my beginner training class.
Foot launch or trike?
Foot launch.
Okay. Yeah, you'll be going down to what is it? Wachula? Yeah.
Wachula? Gesundheit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know a couple of the instructors. I know Travis, I know Allie. And our buddy Brooke Sheffield, James Sutherland, Scott Shampka, or not Scott, he didn't go through it, but a few guys who were down there for my SIV that I was just in also did tandem certifications with One Up Adventures. So they got their tandem rating so that they can basically take people up for rides for, instructional purposes. But they already knew how to fly trikes and they all had trikes already. Of course, they foot launch as well, but I know they have foot launch classes. They just don't do it at Lake Wales. They do it down at Wachula. So they're good people, man. They're very talented.
When I flew out there a couple weekends ago, the video that I did with the alligator pond or whatever, that was out of Wachula as well. And they had, I think, 5 or 6 students there that were training when I was there. Which, by the way, when you're flying around and you see a guy flying near you, you don't know if he's a new student or he's experienced. You're just like, avoid that person at all times. because I mean, you don't know if they're a new student. They have no idea what they're doing, or I kind of freaked out a little bit. I was just like, dude, I don't know if that's a new student or not. I don't want to scare them, and I don't want them to get too close to me and freak out. You know what I mean? Like it was one of those little things in the air. It was like, oh crap, I'll just be over here. And I literally left the area because I just wasn't sure if they were new or experienced pilots.
I'd be the one crying.
Yeah, and if they give you the opportunity to try out trike, I would definitely take that opportunity because it's 2 different things, and I enjoy both. I'm capable of foot launch, I'm capable of trike, and there's no comparison. You can't compare one to the other because when on a trike, you can come down like an airplane and you can have those back wheels touch. You can roll it out for as long as you want and you can take back off. I mean,
wait a minute now. When you say you come down like an airplane, it's a little different. You still don't have a stick. You can't point that stick forward and go down to the ground.
Correct.
But you can. I'm definitely going to get into the trike, man, Eric. I'm joining the club, but my buddy Brooke, he's getting some more certification. I'm going to learn from him this summer.
Yeah.
So
I do like the option of letting your feet hang, or if you don't want to do that, you can put them out on your pegs on your front wheel and relax your legs that way. Because if you go for a 2-hour flight and your feet are hanging the entire time, that is my biggest worry when I go to land, that my legs aren't awake enough. You know what I mean? Like in the videos, I cut a lot of this out, but I click my heels together. I'm like shaking my legs, trying to make sure that they're awake. And I see the guys on the trikes, they just got their feet out on the peg and they're just relaxing. I'm like, that does interest me. And on days when there's no wind, Dave, when I heard that you wanted to foot launch, I was a little skeptical. But knowing Craig Taylor, who foot launches like a boss, I lost my concern with you foot launching when I heard that you play tennis tonight.
Oh yeah.
National that is a lot of turning, a lot of crazy stuff that you have to do with the leg that's not there.
Oh yeah.
So
it's much more physical.
Yeah. I think honestly running with a paramotor on your back there's not a lot of left or rights. I mean, there's a correction, but it's not a sharp. The guy just hit the ball behind you while you're going to the left. It's now behind you. You got to stop and go back the other way. I think you'll be fine, dude. I as soon as you told me you did the tennis thing, I was like, obviously I don't know this guy very well.
Yeah.
He's fine.
He's gonna kill it, man.
A lot of starting and stopping and cutting and reversing directions and the whole thing. So
I think but I get what Eric is saying, because there are days when there's no wind and you come in and you're like, holy crap, I'm coming in fast, dude. It doesn't matter on a trike. You're just like, oh, whatever, coming in. Oh, I just went downwind. Who cares? I mean, I get it. Now, the morning time when the dew's on the ground, that's a whole different ballgame because you're going to get soaked.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's not easy. You have got to want it. And tonight I wanted it. I wanted to get in the air. And I ran my butt off, man, and I got up there. But it's not easy. I mean, I hope nobody takes offense to this, but generally fat boys don't foot launch. And
offended.
I lost over 30 pounds to get off the ground on foot launch paramotor. I knew it was gonna be hard. I know people that went to training an aviator and they came back, they failed and they came back after they lost 70 pounds and they got it because they really wanted it. You won't have any of those problems, man. You're gonna just kill it as far as physical goes. But I still want my wheels. I'm in good enough shape.
JR wants to know where you're from.
I'm in Somerville, South Carolina, just outside of Charleston.
All right.
Well, Jay, he also said, he said something earlier. Oh, he said, great school, great people. You will enjoy that school. So
okay, I see that. Thank you, JR.
So just a little background, Travis Burns is the who runs One Up Adventures there, and him and Eric Fairwell were partners at Aviator at one point. So they basically started up Aviator School together, or for a long, and they still have a very good relationship. So the guy that's going to be training you has an extensive amount of experience, foot launching and trikes. So, he's,
I was kind of wondering,
he's on the Paradigm team, I believe.
I was wondering if there was some sort of affiliation there, because when my wife bought our tandem flights for Christmas last year in Lake Wales, she got them through One Up Adventures, but Bob Farewell is the guy that she communicated with, Eric's dad, and he's the one that will be taking us up.
The Bob father, man, that guy, he is so awesome, man. You're going to like Mr. Bob. We camp out on his property. He owns the Chalet Suzanne, which is Will knew about it. He actually ate there when you were a kid, man. I would love to hear that story, but it's a historical restaurant that's a landmark in Lake Wales. They've got their own runway. It's freaking awesome, man. Those are good people, man. You're in for a treat.
Hey, we have a question from JR Paramotors. Wants to know where Dave's from. What state are you in, Dave?
I'm in South Carolina.
There you go. Another South Carolina. Actually,
wait, you're just outside of Charleston, aren't you?
Correct. Yeah, I'm in the same town that Tom Kubat. He's in Somerville as well.
Have you met up with him?
Actually, yes. Tom works at Cummins, who a good buddy of mine that just a couple of houses up the road works at, and I noticed he was a friend of Tom's on Facebook back when I first started immersing myself in YouTube videos. And I said, so you know Tom? And he's like, yeah. And I said, well, let me, and actually I didn't even know I'd met him at my friend's wife's birthday party a while back. So I got in touch with Tom and said, hey, let me know when you're going to head out sometime soon. I'd love to just come and watch. And yeah, he got in touch with me, and I went out just outside of North Charleston, and he and Yankee Paramotor and Bill Hanschgrit and a couple other guys were out there, Philip, and I think a guy named Brian. I can't remember his last name, but yeah, I just sat there and just, mouth dropped open, just loving every second of it. It was just amazing. And that sunk the hook a little deeper, I think.
Hey, quick question. I want to, it's Jim CR120's in the chat. I was wondering if he'd be able to come on the show real quick, I got a question to ask him, but I want to do it face to face. That's how I
put him on the spot.
Jim.
Yeah. I'm trying to pull the link up now. Good Lord.
Wait, you have the question and Jim CR does not have the question?
He has some good questions, man.
He's prolific.
He's a great guy, dude. He will give you some crap though, dude. I think that's why I like him so much, because he's just down to earth and he's a nice guy. Let's just say that. I cannot come up with.
Have you got to meet him, Shane? It sounds like you have.
No, I have not met him yet. But
Okay.
I am looking forward to it. Why in the world is the messages I get from Sean just never work out right? Good Lord.
What do you want? What are you looking for?
The meeting password or code and password to put in the chat.
Tell it to you and you write it down onto the chat.
Well,
So
I'm trying to copy and paste it, but it's not letting me do any of that. No,
yeah, I can't do that either.
Hold on. I think I figured it out. Look at here. Wait for it. Boom. And then back to here.
He said he'll jump on in a few minutes. He's getting out of the shower.
Yeah. You take your time, sir. Don't come on a minute before you got close. Matter of fact, I'm gonna wait a few minutes.
Jim's a good guy, man.
Yeah.
He'd been making comments on my videos and stuff for a while before I ever met him. And I went down to Aviator on one of my trips down there to visit, and he was just finishing up class with his son Morgan. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Father son training together. And of course, we had to have him on the show and hear their story. So, but he's a good guy, man. And he went through training there, and now he's going back. He's like I guess they call it an interim instructor in training, and so he's going through that process. He just enjoys sharing his passion for the sport with other people. I remember he stepped away from flying to help me after 14 months of flying. I had never done a reverse inflation, and he basically put aside flying and helped me for a while until I got it figured out and I was able to do it. So that's just the kind of people that you run into down there. It's good stuff.
You run into those kind of people everywhere, because I mean, every time you go to a fly-in, somebody has trouble, wing doesn't inflate right, whatever. You have people run out there and help lay your wing out. And if you have engine troubles, you'll get more help than you really need. This sport is nothing more than just people trying to help other people out. And I just, to me, is just amazing.
Are there any other sports like that? Because I've heard a lot of people that came from other sports and backgrounds are like, it's just not like that. It's super competitive, and it's kind of a blessing to have that in the sport.
It is amazing. That's one of the things that has really been nice for me to see, being somebody that doesn't fly yet. Everybody has been welcoming and helpful, and any questions, people have texted me, emailed me, and it's awesome. The only other time I had something like that, I was in a motorcycle group for a specific type of bike that I rode, and everybody was just like that. It was like, anything you need, you just call me, and that's pretty rare, and it's very refreshing.
The collective. And back to the trike versus foot launch, it doesn't have to be one or the other. You can do both. I mean, you can get a trike kit that attaches even onto onto the Maverick. So,
that's right.
I mean, basically, I guess you'd be talking about your initial training. Which way would you go? But it doesn't have to be one or the other.
Yeah, I saw a video. PPG Gorilla had something that was very small and very compact, and he just kind of and set it up, and he was good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah, I just so talk. Go ahead, Brian.
I was just gonna say, talking to other people, flying on trikes, the small, really lightweight wheel contraptions that you can mount to, like our Parajet Mavericks. They're not quite as stable as some of the bigger trikes that you would fly. They say that flying on some of the bigger trikes with bigger frames is a better way to learn. So that's what I want to do. And then I want to convert over to the little cheap attachment. I forget what they call it, but there's a $1,600 attachment that you can buy this out now. Tricycle wheels for the Parajet Maverick specifically.
They're not as sturdy.
No, they're pretty sturdy. They're pretty good, but just talking to some people that have flown all of them, they say if you're new learning, the heavier trikes are a little more stable and better to learn on, because one of the first things you have to do is learn how to kite the wing, and you don't always turn under the wing with a trike like you do foot launching. You can turn under a little bit, but it's my understanding that you actually pull the wing above you, and that's why a lot of people tip over on trike. So the heavier frame, I think, helps a little bit.
Yeah, Jade and I both have a trike. You can look it up. It's called Trike Buggy, and they're I will say they are a sexy looking machine. They are nice looking. They are I think they're pretty awesome. They're good little machines. And Jade has a Maverick mounted to hers. I had my Maverick mounted to mine, but since then I've removed it and because that was a foot launch unit, and I put my foot launch back together, and I just got a Moster and put it on there and built my hoop and everything else with the help of my instructor. And but the trike buggy is pretty nice, pretty neat. Yep, I think that's it. That's
Cool.
it right there.
So that's like a conversion kit, or I probably don't know.
No, it's a permanently, you permanently mount your motor to it. You don't take it off and put it on your back when you want to do foot launch. So it's pretty much a permanent mount. That's why I have the two different ones. I have the foot launch unit, and then I have the trike. But as I said, I like both. I can't say I like one or the other. Each one has their own pros. Each one has their own cons. Like Brian said, when you guys are foot launching, we can run under the wing. We can't do that with a trike. You got to have good kiting skills to fly a trike. Better kiting skills than foot launch.
You can't you can't wheel drag water, by the way, but you can heel drag some water.
No, don't do that. Tucker has videos of people wheel dragging trikes. Because they made a Tucker video, they didn't turn out good.
Wheel drag corn though.
Been there, done that.
You say wheel drag corn?
Yeah.
What was it, water or corn?
Corn. I did a cornfield.
Yeah, you can do the cornfield. You just can't do water. That water grabs a hold of those tires and just brings you down.
Little submarine.
Yeah, quickly turned into a submarine.
Yeah, we had a guy on a show last night that tried foot dragging a pond in front of people, and he ended up in the water. So I don't think I'll ever probably foot drag water, man. I don't know. It's not
Like
a goal of mine.
I did it in Dave Purdon's on a pond that you could literally, it was less than a foot deep. It was literally less than a foot deep. You could see the bottom. And
yeah,
that was the only reason. And I wouldn't even call it a foot drag. It was tippy toe. I touched two toes, and I pulled right up. I was like, I'm out of here. That freaked me out.
Walter.
Woo-hoo.
Morning, all.
Hey, Walter.
Good day,
mate.
G'day, mate. How is everybody?
Great.
Flying weather over there? Got flying weather?
It was beautiful today.
Lovely.
What you
It
drinking?
was.
Sorry?
What you drinking?
Coffee and having crumpets.
Yeah.
You guys have crumpets?
No.
Is that like a cookie?
No, it's soft, soft doughy. You put it in a toaster, heat it up, bit of butter.
Oh, is
Don't have
it-
crumpets.
So that's like a
an
muffin.
English muffin?
Yeah, English muffin.
It's got holes in it.
Australian muffin.
Never had one.
Yeah, here we put Canadian bacon and egg and some cheese on it, and then a top crumpet You buy it at the big store that has an M on it.
That would have been funnier if Jay did. That would have been funnier if Jay didn't have to tell you to say that.
Right. Yeah. So back to that foot drag thing, Brian. I don't think I could keep altitude proper to do a foot drag.
Foot launch or with your trike?
No, foot drag through water. I'm still working. I'm still new, so I'm still working on just trying to keep altitude and throttle control. And I'd do a foot drag for probably about 3 inches until I completely went in, but that would be about it.
I actually know a guy that has foot dragged water on a trike.
Really?
I got a video of him at the chalet. Charlie Soap guy. Some of y'all probably know him.
Oh yeah.
He had his feet hanging down, foot dragging the runway on a trike. And I know there's some dangers involved with hanging your feet down on a trike, but apparently he's done it on water too. So that's impressive. It's not a goal of mine, but
it's not necessarily a goal of mine either. It's too the risk is not worth the reward. I mean, who really wants to walk around or fly the rest of the trip with wet feet? It's gonna happen. So I just prefer not. For me, it's not a thing. I tried it. I didn't like it. Definitely didn't like it. And
you can practice it along the ground.
Well, that's the funny part.
Maintaining height with the throttle. You can practice it on the ground. But water bites, don't forget.
So I can sit in my chair and fly with grass that's 6 inches tall. I can touch the top of it and maintain that. As soon as I go up, come back down and slide out of my seat, I can no longer, and it's all mental, just so you know, I can no longer maintain I can fly 100 miles level all day long sitting in my seat. As soon as I slide out of my seat, my feet are hanging, I cannot maintain a level flight. I'm up and down, up and down, up and down. And it's all mental.
Most of them do it in their seat though, don't they, Shane?
No, that cage is, now you're talking an inch or two from the ground. If you're out of your seat,
not to do that. Yeah. Some people do it because they've got the Angel or SkyTap Angel, whatever like that they actually frame drag or butt drag and get away with it. But anyway, is anybody in the panel here tonight that could say they raced the plane and almost won in their paramotor?
Negative.
I got video today, man. My dad's in the Quicksilver, about 100 feet off to my left. He's flying near stall speed, so I say racing loosely. And I had trims all the way out, and we're flying exactly the same speed. And I was like, all right, Dad, we got the speed nailed down. When I give a countdown of 3, I want you to floor it, and let's climb at a maximum rate, see who can climb faster. And we did that. And man, he barely got me. The paramotors climb pretty good. And he floored it and was trying to climb out the maximum amount. He was slowly getting on me, but I'm gonna make a video from it. It was a great flight today. Me and my dad flew for a whole hour. We were flying low over some fields. I almost foot dragged a long asphalt highway. Man, it was just awesome. I probably spent 15 minutes 5 feet off the ground today. So it was a great flight.
I have seen a video where I'm not sure if it was Tucker or someone else, and I think he was flying along a Cub, and obviously the Cub, flaps out, everything going as slow as he can, and I think it was Tucker, and he was like surprised that he was keeping up with him. Like the guy would have been like nearly stalling, but yeah, he was flying along and they were matching. I've also done it with a small ultralight where if winds favour, you can keep up to a small ultralight you know.
Yes, just right here.
They got to be dead slow though.
Well, I've never used speed bar, so that's just trims out on a Spider 3. I've never attached a speed bar, so I'm guessing once I attach that, that's another 5 miles an hour, maybe.
So,
yeah.
with that being said, do you have a faster climb rate trims out or trims in? Anybody know?
Oh, that's a good question. I haven't even thought about that.
I know this is something that somebody was telling me after the Mile High attempt. They said that the manual for the Parajet suggested that you trim in, I think it was 2 centimeters, something along those lines, and that would give you a better climb rate. So I would suspect that it would be slight trims in would give you a better climb rate.
Because of the angle of attack of the wing, right?
It's all
Yeah,
about
I mean,
attack.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's like having a bit of flap.
I'm
sorry,
having a bit of flaps on your plane, same thing, gives you more lift. So you trimmed out, gives you the back of the wing is more down, which would be more like, you know, same, yeah. Going to give you more flight.
So my question to Jim Reeves is, are you and Dave somehow related? Because you two look very similar. Look.
You say Dave or Jade?
Jim and Dave Perry.
No.
You guys look very similar.
Have another drink, Shane.
Yeah.
Is that what you corralled Jim onto the show for, to tell him?
Yeah, I was trying to put them side by side in the chat or in the Zoom meeting, but I can't figure out how to move them together. I'm like, man.
Oh man.
No, I see a lot of similarities, dude. Both are good-looking guys. One's got a great sense of humor. I'll let you decide.
Jim, it sounds like a compliment, man. I think he's 20 years younger, and he's an athletic, guy. So Jim's a military guy. Yeah, that sounds like a compliment.
I can tell you, Jim smells better than I do right now, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, you just got off your 22nd anniversary. You should be all sweaty.
Cool shirt, Jim.
It's the pajama top I got. Thanks.
Yeah.
So I was listening, Dave. You were talking about going to training. And had you talked to Craig about adequate places to give you training? Did he give you any recommendations?
Well, I actually sent him an email. It basically told him there were about 4 different places that I was looking at right now. One Up, Aviator, Mojo in North Carolina, and what was the other one? It's escaping me. 4 Winds. And just to say, basically, if you heard, what, I don't even know where Craig trained, to be honest with you. And then I got a text today that said, hey, just FYI, I called down and talked to Travis, and they have an opening on the 29th of May, if you're interested. So.
And that was from Craig?
Yeah, that was from Craig.
If I'm not mistaken.
Sounds like an endorsement.
Yeah, I think so.
I think Craig trained at Aviators, didn't he? Or am I wrong with that?
I kind of think he did, but I can't say for sure.
Because he's flying a PAP. So that kind of just made me assume that he went to One Up, because they're basically offering PAPs and Parajets. And I don't know if Aviator has PAPs in their arsenal.
No,
I don't think they do. So my thought just by that was that he probably went to One Up, but I could be wrong.
But like Brian was saying, Travis and Eric, they were together. They're both training in both part of Paradigm, so they may have all the skills and same experience, so it might not make a difference as far as in regards to which you might need.
Really, the big difference right now that I can see right now is slightly financial. It's a little cheaper at One Up. They both have tow systems, and they both have hang point, and they both use the same syllabus, and so it's kind of like right now I'm just trying to decide where I'm going to land. But that was a little exciting when I thought, well, gee, as early as, even though it's at the end of the month, I could say maybe next month I'm going to be training. That just made me not sleep very well last night.
Hey,
that was the same thought things that we were going through when me and my son were going down. If you do end up going to One Up and you're there at the end of May, that'd be cool. I'll be down there at that time. And
oh, sweet.
Yeah. So
we can take a family picture for Shane.
Yeah, family reunion.
Now if we can just get Josh Perry down there, we'll be all set.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What is the, if you don't mind me asking, what's the cost for One Up?
It was $3,000 with a $750 initial down payment.
Deposit.
Yep.
How long is that training program?
I believe it was 7 to 10.
Okay.
Which is exactly what I'm looking for with my job. 10's about the most I'll be able to take off in one stretch. So that would work great.
Yeah, I know aviators classes used to be 10. Actually, when I signed up for mine, it was supposed to be a 10-day class, and they extended it on all of us, and most of us were able to stay the full 14 days. They extended that because I guess a lot of past classes had dealt with bad weather days, and you don't get as many flights in.
Pretty sure their website states 14 right now, but heck, it was probably a year ago. I touched base with Eric and just said, hey, is there any way I could get out of it with a 7 to 10 dayer? And he was like, yeah, no problem. So
oh yeah, you have totally been good, man. Yeah, I mean, typically the flights occur by day 4-ish during these training programs, and so by day 7 or 10, you'll have some flights under your belt. Considering you have some decent weather.
Now, Brian, I got a question on that. Can Dave go back to aviator at any time and continue training, or? So I mean, if he doesn't finish in those, or even One Up, if they don't finish, if he doesn't get his flights in, I mean, is he able to go back at any time to? Do you know that answer?
I can't speak personally for One Up because I didn't train there, but I know at Aviator that that's absolutely an option. There was one guy in my class, out of the 8 of us, he, didn't do as good as the rest of us, and barely got any flights in, only a couple in class. And the 14, he was able to stay the whole 14 days. He just had some issues, and he came back to Aviator probably a half dozen times because he lived close enough, over a year, and he's flying now. But I think all these schools will work with you, man. If you have to leave class early, you come back, they're going to try to work with you. They all want to see you be successful. That's the main thing, and safe at it. When I left Aviator, I felt like a knowledgeable pilot, and I felt confident, and that's what you need out of a program, no matter where it's at. You need to walk away knowing when you go home, you can judge your LZ based on the information you learned, and when conditions are right, you'll send it.
Yeah, Bill H. in the chat said that, like Kyle O, he has a lifetime training.
Yeah.
I think there's quite a few people out there. I think majority of them are like that, just because, like Brian said, they want to see you succeed. They want to see you fly because this is their passion also.
Exactly. That's the point. Almost every one of these people are not doing it for the money. They're doing it because they want to help people get into the sport, and making money and a living off the side is a side effect for a lot of these people that I've met.
So many of us really love aviation and flying. So I heard you talking about me, Brian, and I thank you for all the kind words. But I mean, when you enjoy something like that, you really enjoy sharing it with somebody else. And so, I mean, it's really not a big deal taking some time to give that feeling, to share that feeling with somebody else and help them, enjoy what you're doing. And for me, that was just a small thing with the reverse launches. That was finally give back.
So I went to Four Winds and trained with them, and they have I've actually called Lauren up and said, I'm having trouble with my landings or whatever. And he's like, show up, come back, and we'll see what the problem is. So, and this was 6-7 months later after I graduated. And I guess at one point, Lauren and Eric, they were affiliates or what have you, or Lauren was affiliate. And I think their syllabuses are exactly the same. I've heard Aviator, do little clips on YouTube, and I've heard the exact same thing coming from the instructors that I've heard coming from Lauren. So I think they're, they teach the exact same way, I think, from what I've heard in the videos and what I remember in class.
So I got a question for Jim. You're going to be going down and doing a apprenticeship program down there at Aviator?
Yes.
Are you going to
Yes.
document all this, have video, put out a video? We want to see how that all goes.
Well, I've already, a lot of times, I guess the typical of what they do there is they'll have an intern do 2 classes just to make sure it's a good fit for both parties. And so I've already done 1 class. I'm going to go down and do a second and a third class. Hopefully the third class, will be, all the cards will be on the table, and we'll, do a thumbs up or thumbs down at that point, and then move on with the next class or not. But as far as videoing, I didn't do any of the first one. I'm definitely taking notes for my own purposes, just so I could be a well-informed instructor, an adequate instructor. So, yeah. So I'm already halfway through that process. As far as information to share, I'm happy to share, of course. Like I was saying before, I like to see more people enjoying what I enjoy.
Yeah. So how long are you going to be down there? Each time you go down there, until they decide if they want to keep you around or not.
I'm already getting a good feeling. I mean, Eric said he's heard good things about me. So as long as I keep doing what I do, and I'm just going to get more proficient as I do it. So I really don't have a fear there, because I mean, I've got the motivation, and my skills are continuing to develop. So I think that's going to be a good thing. I think each class is 2 weeks. So after this next class that I'll be going down, and the next class that I'll be there for will be starting on the 24th of this month. And that'll last 2 weeks. And then hopefully by then we'll, have whatever we're going to do established. I plan on sticking around for at least 1 more class. And maybe I'll have some money. And otherwise I'm just free labor for them.
There you go. Yeah. Cause Jade's trying to figure out what she's going to do here when she retires here quick.
I am retired. So we moved down from Maine. We bought this house. We got a good deal on it. So it's all paid off. So if I'm not down there, I'm, like I was earlier today, up working on the roof or something. So
there you go.
It's a good fit for me, because I've already got my retirement, and I've got my our health insurance for me and my wife. So I mean, those things that are important to maybe a younger couple starting out might be an issue. But if those things are already covered, then maybe it's not such a big thing. This seems like it's a good fit for me, because my wife, her sister is right down there in Lakeland, so it gives her an opportunity to go see her. And I'm used to traveling, being in the Navy, and the little bit of cash flow that I'll be getting from there will help us push the house along with a little bit of positive things for the next house that we want to do 1 more. But it's good for them, because by having a larger cadre of instructors, it'll keep everybody more fresh. Give them opportunity to have some downtime and not burn instructors out.
There you go.
You go work some long days, man. And, you've already been through 1 class. You know what it's like. I've sat through 2 classes now, and there's a lot of hours. You get there before sunrise. You stay. You get a long break in the middle of the day, and you stay till after sunset. debriefing and whatnot. They're long days. You're going to get to do a lot of flying, but you're going to put in a lot of hours working and helping other people. Personally, Jim, I think you're a great fit for down there, man. The veterans down there that have been there for years are people just like you. They're retired. They just love to fly. They don't need the health benefits, and they just want to teach people how to fly. And I'm pretty optimistic you're gonna be a good fit down there.
Thanks, Brian. Jim, you got the Brian Waller seal of approval.
Yeah,
you're good to go, man.
I can see Jim and Mike Brown sitting around a campfire drinking a beer, man. It just, you guys seem like you click, but I could be wrong.
Mike's a good guy. I get along with Mike real well. We've gone out to and had some dinner. So
awesome.
Looking forward to more of that. And next time, maybe I'll have some of your turkey next time you come down and fry a turkey.
Yeah, that's a tradition now. I'll be back.
Walter, you're muted.
You sound great though.
He's not spitting crumpet anymore.
No. I was just going to say, Jim, I think you'd be a great teacher, mate. You've got what it needs. Calm. And yeah, I think you do well.
I appreciate that. I think I still need to experience and some more training, but I do have a passion for it. So, and I do care about people. So I think those couple things will help me propel through the rest of the need. So
exactly. Thanks. Yeah.
How do you, Jim? How would you judge yourself on let's say a student that isn't grasping or doing well? How do you think you would fare with teaching someone like that?
So, okay. So again, to qualify what I'm about to say is I'm a noob, big time noob. Okay. So right. Just to qualify that, but if there is someone that's having trouble and they're having trouble and I'm not getting them past that trouble, I mean, I can present them different ways, but perhaps they need a different instructor because people learn in different ways and in different speeds. Having worked in schools, I've been able to adapt to many people, but sometimes I just say things and people don't click together. So if they need to hear it from another instructor, I mean, that won't be a problem for me. I'd rather have that person get up in the air safely and maybe listen in to see what that instructor offered that helped them. And then we end up both learning in that case. If they're having trouble because of their skills and they're just not ready to progress, then I would just give them goals of things to achieve before they move to that thing that they want to do.
So with that answer there, I've always said this. I was a horrible student when it came to kiting. Kiting just never clicked with me in school until after I got that motor on my back and everything clicked. I got to the point where I was so mad at myself that I got left alone. Nobody wanted to be around me because I was just angry. I was angry with myself because I'm not used to not being okay or good at something that I've tried for the very first time. It was a situation that I got in that I was not prepared for, because if I try surfing, I can surf okay. If I tried skateboarding, I was okay at it. This thing, it just didn't click with me. I couldn't figure it out to save my dang life. And I only had one instructor. So I was just kind of, when I asked that question, I was kind of curious of your answer, because like you said, if you guys don't click or you're not getting through to that student, you have another instructor to ask to step in, and maybe they have a different angle that you haven't thought of. I like that option. That
was one of the things that drew me towards Aviator, by the way, when I was looking for a place for me and my son. They've got a group of 4 or 5 instructors at all times, now even more with Denellen down there. So, I mean, if you have anything going on and they're switching through. So, I mean, even if you do click, you get the opportunity of getting the experience and some insight from different instructors. And different instructors, just even though they're trying to point out the same points, it comes across a different way, and some people it just clicks a little bit better. But there's a big contrast between my son and I, and I think we did this when we had that show way back. He's very natural at picking up physical stuff. I have to work really hard at it. One advantage that gives, I mean, to him, that's an advantage because he gets to have fun way earlier. The advantage that I have because I have to work for it is I have to work and make those things click, but then I can articulate those things to other people that might be struggling. I think that's a strength that I have.
Jim, how many flights did you and Morgan have at the completion of your training at Aviator?
I had 37 when I finished, and he was up 50 or 60. He cranked up a bunch, and then he says that's enough. I don't care about the numbers. He just wanted to have
he was in a competition for the lead with another gentleman, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. And, yes. Yeah. Yeah. There was
37.
Him and another guy named Matthew. They were both cranking them out, and I think if they really wanted to, they could have probably done a dozen more each. But what was the point at that point? They both knew they could crank them out. They really wanted to work on some skills and have some fun and not just touch and go.
Yeah, people like that get a little bit of advanced training while they're in class, because you'll have, like you said, all these different instructors. At Aviator, you would literally have a different instructor assigned to you almost every day until you cycle through the roster of instructors. You got to work with them all, and whether you liked it or not, you had to put up with Fletch, you had to put up with Ross and some of these other guys. And no, it's good to have the versatility that these people have. I couldn't imagine training in school with just one instructor. It had to be a good match.
Jim, Jim, I remember when you were training, and this is the good thing, is that you trained with your son. And I remember you saying he was steps ahead of you because he could take things in and you didn't. That's a great thing for you to have come through, to be able to teach someone with, slower learning capabilities, which is something that, everyone's got a different learn rate. Some people pick it up without you even saying anything, let alone someone that's got to be, walked through it every step of the way. And I think because you've come from the harder side, you know how to relate that to people as well.
And since my instructor days, and even after I was out of the Navy, I've been teaching and instructing all along the way. So it just seems like a very obvious fit for me to do something I've always enjoyed doing, and to do it and to teach people to do it. So,
well, let me go back. Let me go back to the my comment about only having one instructor. Not saying that I didn't get good training. I think I got great training. My thing is, I got into my head and he didn't know how to deal with my issue. But I'm wondering if there was another instructor there that could have came at a different angle and maybe see, I was being just too hard on myself, or I was getting in my own head. I mean, I literally was just pissed off at myself because it wasn't clicking with me when things normally click with me very well. And I think it was best that he left me alone and let me deal with it on my own. But with what you said, with having different instructors, I was just curious if maybe if I had a different instructor come over and approach me in a different way, that it would have clicked sooner, I guess. But I always have nice things to say about Four Winds. I mean, I've got over 112 hours on my motor, a year, and I don't know, a couple months, and I've not had any instances. I've not broken any props, cages. I think I've done very well. And I believe all of that's from the training that I received. I just was curious with having multiple different people. I can see the benefit of one instructor being able to approach a student that is struggling like myself and come at it at a different angle and maybe snap me into it getting out of my head quicker.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, a
Absolutely.
single instructor, he could be very well versed and very
Mhm.
versatile and be able to offer those other things. It might be harder to find that one instructor, but I mean, someone who's been doing this for a while and taught many students, he might have the vocabulary to teach a whole lot of people. So if David goes wherever he goes, if he goes with One Up or an Aviator or somebody else that's just a single instructor, I mean, if he's shopping around, I'm confident he'll find a good place. Because there's plenty of good instructors out there.
Shane, did you lack a little bit of, what's the word? Patience?
No, youth.
No, I just say, if you wanted to, because there's always a thing about kiting, and in your mind, you want to get into the air, I think. Not you, I mean anybody, but I know myself. You want to get into the air. If you don't grasp the kiting, it could get a little bit frustrating, And I'm just wondering whether you had a little bit of, patience. Patience is a virtue. If you ain't got it now, you'll get it tomorrow.
Right. Well, here's what I did. I walked into a class with two other students, a female who had been kiting since January. Here we are in October. She had been kiting. I actually asked about kiting and was told not to kite because I could pick up some bad habits and then we'd have to work through those bad habits to get you where you should be at. So I didn't kite. And then I find out that this girl had been kiting since January. I was like, well, shit, I'm way behind behind the 8 ball. The other guy that was in my class was about 15 years younger than me. You've met Josh, Brian, up at Vail. And he picked up everything very quickly. I mean, he was running, tip dragging the wing and running back and forth, and I'm still trying to figure out how to lift the wing off the ground.
Doesn't it frustrate you?
I was so pissed off, Brian. I'm telling you right now, at one point, I packed this wing up, put it in the bag. I walked over and sat down in the shade, and I was so pissed off. I sat there for an hour and a half. No one said a word to me. And I was just in my head. I was pissed. On day 3, I got home, and I called back to my camper, and I called my wife, and I said, listen, I think I made a big mistake. I want to quit. And she literally almost laughed in my face over the phone, because she's like, dude, you come home after quitting. She's like, I don't want you here. You will not be able to live with yourself, and I'm sure as the hell not going to live with you being that pissed off. And I went to bed that night, and I truly listened to what she said to me, and I was just like, holy crap, if I quit, I will not forgive myself. So I woke up the next morning, and they're like, hey, we're going to tow. And I was like, all right. And of course, the female and the other guy, they towed 3 or 4 times each, and no problems. My very first tow, I screwed up the launch, reset up. My second and third tow were perfect. Then my fourth one, failed launch. And I was like, golly, dude, I just can't get it. And I mean, I had to literally walk off and have this whole come to Jesus, this is it, dude. You can either keep being pissed off or you can figure out what you're doing wrong. And that next morning, we put motors on our backs, and first thing I thought of is there's no way I'm going to be able to run with this motor on my back. I can barely stand here with this motor on my back, which I don't know anybody in the chat or in the panel who have put a motor on for the very first time and thought, how the hell am I going to run with this? I can barely stand it, because I was straining. I could not believe how much just 65, 70 pounds made a difference in anything and everything I did. And then, I don't know, I got that motor on my back, and the very first time I launched, it was perfect. And I came in, landed perfect. And I ended up having 32 launches before I had to Well, I aborted only because I was going from grass to runway and it freaked me out. So I stopped. And my instructor's like, why did you stop? I was like, it's asphalt. I can't right now. I can't switch over. I can't do
It's
it.
hot lava. Hot lava.
Yeah. And I ended up leaving with, I think, 35 or 36 launches or flights. And I mean, honestly, I don't think I would have had one failed launch if it wasn't for the asphalt. It was no wind day and I was running and running and running. And he's like, full throttle. I'm like, I'm going full throttle. Oh, no, I'm not. And then I look up, seen asphalt. I was like, oh, no, stop. And I mean, I could have taken off probably without any issue. And then even my instructor was like, dude, he would look at the other two students and go, where was this guy at the entire time? Now, here's the best part. The two students that were kiting so well absolutely struggled to take flight. Now, why is that?
Part.
They kited like bosses the entire time. The female, she had that wing up for hours sitting there having a conversation with the instructor about whatever. And I'm like over there bringing the wing up and it'd fall down. Bring it up, it'd fall down. The other guy's running around tip dragging in circles. And I'm like, how's he doing that already? I can't even get the wing to stay up over my head. And
maybe he wasn't doing it on purpose.
No, he was doing it on purpose. But it just dumbfounded. I couldn't believe how quickly I got pissed off at myself because it just wasn't working out. But
were they training? Was the wings the same, Shane, that you were using?
I mean, they were to the students' weight and size. I mean, I think they were different brands. I was on a 30-meter ozone. And I ended up.
What were the winds when you were?
So we had 2 days where the winds were too high to really kite. We got the kite probably an hour in the morning, and then the winds picked up and we put them away. But most of the time it was.
I saw
1
that,
to
Jim.
2. It was 1 to 2, and then occasionally, I think the one day we got up to 8 or 9 and he's like, all right, put these wings away. And I mean, I was getting drugged. It was I actually wish I had videotaped how bad I was, because for me to express to you guys how bad I was, it's just like, oh yeah, I'm sure he just didn't get it right, whatever, but it wasn't that bad. I was horrible. I will.
How long ago was that, Shane?
October a year ago. So I started flying 2019, was it?
Yeah, you trained like 1 month before me. Shane, I have to say, that it sounds like you had a pretty good instructor, man, because when you need a space and when you needed people just to step away and give you some time to process, it sounds like they gave that to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that a good instructor has to be able to recognize.
Yeah,
right.
Be afraid of Shane.
No.
Especially with the wig. You don't want to be Shayna.
Yeah, right.
Shane, you were saying before that it felt heavy on your back, but once you get the wing up and you start moving forward, running, whatever, does the weight come off the back?
You don't even notice it. I mean, it does, but
Before
literally
you get on the ground, I'm saying, you're still on the ground. Does that weight, virtually the wing takes the weight?
Once the wing is above your head, it starts lifting. So you don't feel that. But you have so many other things in your head about running, throttle, A's, brake, everything's in your mind, and you're looking to where you want to fly to or where you're running to. You don't notice that. I remember stepping on the back of that golf cart with that motor on my back, going across out to the field. And when we got there and I got off that golf cart, the first thing I did was drop that motor down on the ground. I was like, I'm done. I was like, holy crap. I'm not going to be able to stand here. And his wife, Shannon, she goes, at some point, you're going to be standing around with this motor on your back, having a conversation with somebody and not even notice it. And I have done that several times now. It's something new. I mean, even if you go backpacking and you throw on a backpack that's 25 pounds and you've walked a mile, now it feels like it's 75 pounds. But if you keep doing it, that 20-pound backpack turns into nothing after 15 miles. It just, you have to build up, which again was a new experience. I didn't realize 65 pounds would even be an issue for me.
It's a major workout, man.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm talking, I'd send pictures to my wife of all these black and blue bruises and scratches. And she's like, you paid somebody to whoop your ass every day, huh? I was like, for 2 weeks straight.
Did you ever get the burns right here?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the big black and blue.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we all had the scars at one point in time.
I even
Is
had
that from your line?
No, it's from your right or your bars.
Oh, okay.
I think it's on. Well, it's on the landing, right?
Yes. When you flare, you throw your arms down, and you literally, apparently, just drag your arms as hard as you can down these metal bars.
Yeah, right. But I didn't feel it one single time. I did not know when it happened.
Right.
Mine always happened during the kiting. It wasn't
same here, Brian. It's from the risers.
Yeah.
The buckles on the risers. Yeah.
Yeah. I had
Dave,
go ahead, Brian.
Dave, you're talking about stuff, doing training, and I know you're physically fit and all that, man. But the one thing that helped me the most with training that I didn't realize was going to prepare me so well until I got to training was I did a lot of hiking. I got a hiking backpack, and I put 40 pounds in it, and I would hike with it every morning, which that's good. But what really gets you is go out where you got a nice flat level spot with that weight on your back, and practice doing some short runs with your hands in the air like this, with the weight on your back, and just run as fast as you can for like 50 yards, man. The front of your quads are going to get sore as crap. Mine did anyway. And when I got down to the training, those same muscles bothered me. I think it prepared me a lot for actually running with a motor on my back. 40 pounds is not 70, but it helps.
Thank you for that.
Speaking of that, how are your shoulders? Do you have any rotator cuff issues?
None.
Full mobility and everything? Okay, good.
Yep,
good.
absolutely.
Lucky dog.
Yep.
Yoga.
I've had 2 rotator cuff surgeries, C5, C6 fusion. I foot launch, man. You can do it.
Right on. Yeah, I've got one leg that's like a tree trunk and the other one that's like half a tree trunk. So I think I'll be okay. Hey, one question I had in reading my new gift to myself, he did mention having a practice throttle while kiting. Did anybody have practice throttles?
Waller did.
Yeah.
In training, not before. I mean, I didn't do any kiting until I got to class. We had a guy in class, Derek Trout. He bought his wing 3 months before training, and he spent a bunch of time kiting, and he did way better than all of us. I think at Aviator now, if you sign up for their training class, they try to send you a Roadrunner, a small non-flyable wing in advance to let you practice on. But yeah, kiting is real important for sure.
Hey, Jeff had a question in the chat. He goes, "Who here accepts help resetting your wing if you blow a launch?" Meaning from a fellow pilot. I've had people help me. I've helped people reset their wing. Our instructor said, do not go over and reset somebody's wing unless they're receptive to it, because they may not want that. So that's just from our instructor, what he taught us.
I've had somebody blow a launch in front of me. I've helped them set up. I've actually had people help me out at the poker run. Like I said, I should have waited a little longer for the guy in front of me after he took off, but I instantly went behind him and caught his rotor, and my wing didn't do anything it was supposed to do. And the guys behind me all set my wing up. I checked my A's and everything was good, and I took off. And I've run out to help somebody, and they were like, no, I'll do it. I'm like, okay, have a nice day. I don't take offense to it. Some people just they don't know you. Even if they do know you, they may not want you to still do it. So, and by the way, hey, Jeff Pepper, how you doing? Hope you like your new job down here in Florida. But
well, I've had people set my wing up constantly, and she's
Right.
sitting next to me.
It helps
My
you.
thought is don't offer unless you know what you're doing. And you know, I'm kind of a perfectionist. When I lay my wing out, man, I got to try to make sure everything's lined up just right, especially for that no wind launch. I check every riser line every time, you know, try not to get complacent. And you know, the thought of my mom and dad coming over there and straightening the wing for me if I have a failed launch is just, since I haven't taught them how to do it, it's just not happening. You know, I have to do it myself. But I've had a few occasions where people have fixed my wing for me. I know they're competent pilots, even though I don't know them well. But I know that as long as you kite that wing good before you go off into the sky, you're going to be good. So if you're already clipped in properly, you came up, the wing came down, somebody straightens it up for you, it's not perfect, you're probably going to be okay. Just make sure the wing is above your head and centered before you give it the gas and commit. If you don't have the room to do that, then you might have to move and set up.
I will tell you.
What you're talking about, Dave. Yeah. What you were talking about earlier, Dave, though, is it a thing, though, having the throttle in your hand as soon as you're ready, as soon as you got that forward, the reverse, and the transitioning back and forth, the next step would be getting the throttle in your hand, because when you have those toggles in your hands, now your hands are you're already doing something new there. But now with the throttle in your hand, now you've got one hand doing two things, and just holding it there and kiting can be a trick. Not to mention further on down when you have a motor on your back and that throttle, the movement actually means something.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got the toggles, you got the A's, you got your throttle. I mean, it's gonna feel like you got it happening, man. So, and you held up your right hand. Are you right-handed?
I am right-handed, but I think I would probably have my throttle in my left hand for some reason.
Well, I mean, that's what I do. I don't know what Aviator teaches, but it's
all of Aviator's machines are set up for left hand, but I went mine at home here. I set mine up for right-handed throttle, because one, I'm left-handed, and to me it seems consistent because everything else that you drive has the throttle in the right hand.
Yeah, your non-dominant hands. I mean, that makes sense.
What I've always heard was the most important thing was to keep your dominant hand free for your reserve. So if you are left-handed, you probably want your reserve on your left side fly with a right-handed throttle. But I'm left-handed, I fly with a left-handed throttle, my reserve's on the right side. So that's just what I've been told. It makes sense that your dominant hand is available to get to that reserve. You can solve that problem by flying with a center mount reserve. You know, that's the safest way to have a reserve, because if you get locked into a G'd out spiral or something like that, if it's in the center, you can still get to it. If it's off to one side on the outside of the G forces, you may not even reach it. So there's things to consider from the side of the throttle. But yeah, I'm left-handed and I have a left-handed throttle.
Well, good news, Brian. I write and do almost everything with my right hand except for throw. I throw with my left hand. So guess what? Right hand
you throw like a girl.
Left hand throw in my reserve, baby.
I do most things left-handed. I golf right-handed. I mean, it's all in how you learn things. I'm somewhat ambidextrous. So I mean, it's really what you get used to, you know. But just make sure.
What happens when you grow up in a right-handed world?
Yeah,
right. That's right.
Hey, I just realized what time it is. We're gonna kind of slow this down and come to an end. It's going good. I just got to spend time with the wife. That's my thing. I got to do it, man, so I can make another 26 more years of marriage.
26 years. All right. Good on you, Shane.
Yeah, it's Dave's 22nd anniversary. Mine will be September. It'll be my 20s. We're married 20, so it'll be my 27th year coming up.
September
No
what?
kidding. Same as me. In August.
September 1st.
We're August 19th.
Guys, girls, I have a little bit of a show and tell. I got a prize, not a prize, but a present in the mail this morning. It's
Run Cam 3?
Yeah, it's a Run Cam 5 actually. And yeah, Amazon, I think it's about $115. Cost me about 130 landed here. Plus,
put it on your forehead, Walter.
Sorry?
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Now we can see it.
This is actually going to go on the chase cam. Rather than putting an expensive camera on the chase cam, I'm going to put this one. And it actually fits inside of a session housing. So
nice.
It's all cool. 4K, 1080p, all of that. Comes with the charger and a little lanyard. I don't know how the lanyard goes on there, but anyway. So just a little thought, because the sessions aren't available anymore. So I found that on Amazon. Just a good pointer for people. And the other one was I like this, and that come in the mail this morning too.
Oh,
can you see that?
Can you see it? No, pull it closer to you, further from the camera.
Right in front of your face.
I see monkey evolution. Very good. All right, we got it.
Got it?
Cool.
So as soon as we can walk, we can fly, huh?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Anybody else got anything? If not, we'll get out of here. Jim, I want to thank you very much for coming on. I said it before. I'll say it again. I think you're a great guy. I love you busting on me as much as you do. Brian Waller, I know you're a busy man. You got tomatoes growing like crazy and trying to knock your there's so many tomatoes on his plants that he's got to pull them constantly. If not, the plant will fall over.
I appreciate it, man.
Will Fly, thank you. Jade, Eric, Linda, who's not here anymore. Walter, who else am I missing? Oh, Dave. Sorry, sir.
Hey, it's all right.
Muted Mark.
Jim's brother.
Hey, where's Mark at? Mark's been on.
Mark, you're muted. Yeah, where'd your arm?
Picking on blood now.
I just got in here, man. My daughter from Galveston was visiting.
Houston.
Or Houston, whatever.
Hey, where is he? I want to thank you, Shane. Thank you for being
here.
For
what? Oh.
I said for being here tonight. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you for being here tonight.
Hi. Thank you.
I wish you guys would have came on sooner. We're fixing to leave now.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. She was here. She just left.
Thank you for being here.
You guys look like you're having a good time down there. Where are you at?
We're still in Texas.
Tejas. We're tired. This is called adrenaline slap happy. We're tired.
Yeah. Very tired.
Hey, Shane, did you get your screenshot?
I don't do screenshots. I don't even know how to do a screenshot.
I'll do one. I can't do a thumbs up at the same time. So on the count of 3, 3, 2, 1.
I'm not even in it.
All right, wait. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Cheers.
All right, that's it.
Mark says I'm like a hooker.
Yeah, hold on. Let me take this background off.
Hey, hey, Brian, I can get you with the thumbs up.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I have to hit 2 buttons at once, so I can't.
Well, Command Shift 3, right? Or Command Shift, yeah, Command Shift 3 would work. Yeah.
That's 3 buttons. How you do that?
Well, you don't see the other.
3 of my fingers. Highly technical.
Yeah, man. You want to do it?
Not good for it, man.
We'll compare them. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Did it do it? Command Shift. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. I think it did it. I don't know.
Are you just saying how many times you can make us do this?
Yeah. Well,
hey, Mark George, I know what. George, I know why you're tired.
What? This is what?
No, I didn't mean that. I know why you're tired. It was that fair on the weekend.
Say it.
The fair on the weekend?
Say it.
What?
Tell them, say, look at this. What are we going to tell them?
I wasn't going to say nothing.
You sure? You said you were going to say this is why Amy went to work. You say I look like a hooker.
It is, but she don't have her boots on. She had
Yeah,
these freaking boots that are this tall on.
They are not that tall. They're below my knees.
I asked her if she's working a side job. at lunch or on the recess or something.
Are you all trying to rope us into y'all's argument? Really? Come on now.
Of course, always.
I'm supposed to rain today, so I wore my black
Hey,
boots.
I got one question before we
He's gonna
go.
look like a hooker.
When y'all are back in a camper, do y'all argue?
No,
We're too busy.
All right, all right.
Brian,
not in the back of a
Brian,
camper, but
there's no
backing up a
filter.
camper.
You're gonna have to be very careful when you meet her. There's no filter. Trust me.
Oh, I can
Shane, you have
contest
a
to that.
filter.
Does she have a filter, Shane?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
I'm definitely looking forward to meeting y'all, man. I hope to see y'all at Bad Apples for sure.
We're trying to. We're planning on it.
Wait,
I gotta sell some copiers and make some money and some paramotor gear too. I don't really make any money on the paramotor gear. That all goes right back in the business. So I need to sell some copiers.
Well, listen, if you just copy your last sale multiple times, then you'll be all right.
Then we get copy breakdown.
Well, either which way, as long as you copy your sales, it'll be good.
Hey,
all right.
I'm bugging out.
Hey, y'all have a
Shane, for
good
inviting
night,
me on.
man.
Thank you for not telling any jokes, and looking forward to tasting your, because I hear it's way better than the jokes.
I second that, Jim. No jokes tonight.
Oh my gosh, we have to tell a joke.
Come on, Shane. Spit one out before we leave.
No. Hey, I'm clicking on leave. Goodbye. Go be a good husband. Bye.
Hey, what about a midget? There's
No.
a joke about it.
I have
about the midget. I love.
Amy.
What?
I heard that there was a kidnapping at your school today.
Okay, go on with it.
Yeah, you guys woke them up third period. A kidnapping.
Oh, got it. Kidnapping. Groaner. That's not even a good groaner. I got it. Just wasn't worth my energy to try to laugh.
Oh.
Amy, I don't know if you know this or not, but you could stand up a little bit. I mean,
Yeah. Look, stand up. Stand up.
Okay. All right, perfect. Now wait. All right, there you go.
All right.
Now you're comfortable, right?
Not really.
Nope. All right, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys. Paris Swag USA in the house. Will Fly, Walter. We just had Jim leave, CR120. We got Eric, Lear.com. And we got Brian Haybell Waller.
Hey, Billin.
And we got
tackle one of these.
Go put the dishes up because you didn't do it.
Sorry.
Uh-oh. Anyways, we're out of here, guys. I'm gonna go spend time with the wife, and I will see you guys next week.
Tell Krista we said hi.
Well, you can tell her at Bad Apples.
Eric, tell Jay thank you for the shirt. It's awesome.
Oh, good. Yeah.
All y'all sleep good,
she'll
get
get
up
'em.
early, and go fly because you can.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Amy may fly this weekend, guys.
Yay!
May.
Heck yeah,
All right.
man.
All right,
Peace out.
guys. Have a good night.
See y'all.
Hi, guys.